Hello and welcome to our CLL match between UCSD University versus Weber State University Junior Varsity here today in lovely San Diego. My name is Eric, this cat is Q Kim, and today I'm joined by my lovely colorcaster, Just Joe Joseph. How are we feeling today, Joe?
Feeling pretty good. I do have a slight sore throat, so I may sound a little bit off today, but I will be your color caster.
All right. Now, going into this matchup, we have two very talented teams. Obviously, from Weber State, we're seeing the great players such as I believe the star player here would be Arrows, the top laner for WSU.
Hmm.
He is, I believe, peak challenger, and while everyone else has only peak masters.
I believe so.
And he also plays a lot, or they also play a lot of carry champions such as the Camille, the Aatrox, not Galio, the Camille Aatrox, and like Riven. I
Yeah.
do believe that the Riven was their best pick.
Hmm.
So how do you think that is going to match up, considering that UCSC's top laner is also a carry player?
Yeah, I think looking at the two compositions and like the team of players in both teams, I think it's definitely just gonna be down to like the two top laners. It's definitely since they both play carries, it's gonna be whoever's gonna win lane, and they might just like snowball throughout the whole game just to
Mhm.
decide which team is gonna win each game. I do think right now like the mid laners and the bot laners are pretty equal. It's probably gonna be very slow in the beginning, but I think
Mhm.
we'll definitely see some action in the top lane.
Right. I to add on to your point about it being slower in the early game. With the addition of role quests, it's very easy for players to snowball out of hand if they make any mistakes early on.
Hmm.
So I do think that it does encourage a slower play style, especially in like the bot lane or top lane.
Exactly.
I think top lane especially because the bonus XP that you get is extremely large, and just getting solo kills over and over will get you will just get you so much more damage and so much more everything that you need as a top laner.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad you mentioned that about the new season changes because like it's this new 2026 season with Demacia is definitely a lot more different in comparison to the Noxus season last year.
Right.
Um, we saw last year like there's like a bunch of objective fights and like everyone was like just gathering out objectives.
Hmm.
And like the early game is, I believe, a little bit more different now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more different. What are your opinions about the new 2026 changes?
I think that they did a good job in speeding up the game, as that was their goal overall, with like lowering the minion times, making sure that
Yes.
level one invades are less popular or
Hmm.
less common.
Yes.
Um, I do think that it would be. I do kind of miss Otacon, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Otacon was obviously it was not a very good objective for competitive play because it just kind of decided whoever won the game. But I did think it was nice having another objective to fight over because it just meant that we got to see so many more fights, especially when Otacon was such an easy objective to mess up. Um, but that does mean that we have more emphasis on things like the Baron, which is spawns at 21 minutes now and has and got its magic resist reduction back. So that means that the teams taking the Barons will be taking even more damage.
Hmm.
I do think that they should put some priority on dragons, especially since I do think that UCSD will attempt to go for more scaling comp. And it does seem that they are getting ready to start up the draft, and UCSD does pick blue side. I do also kind of hope that the players do remember to turn off spectator streamer mode so that we can get the full experience of how what the players are.
100%. I agree. Yeah, no, as we're heading in here soon enough, do you want to talk about and like put some pointers on the meta state right now,
Right.
especially with the top laners, since we were saying that
Mhm.
they might be the decider of the game here.
Right. I do believe that the top lane meta, at least in the LCK, still has been about like your Mbesses, your Rumbles, your Renekton's.
Hmm.
I do think that we're not going to be seeing any Rumble today. Neither player is that I've seen personally is particularly experienced on the Rumble. But I think that getting Arrows that Rumble, the Riven is super important since he is a 1 million master point Riven,
Hmm.
as well as the mid laner for Weber State Itafushi being a 1 million point Seraphine.
Hmm.
So I do think that those two are really big ban points that kind of just like they're kind of just give like that you know they're a given ban,
Hmm.
which means that UCSD really only has one ban to work around, which is not the kind of stuff you want to see, especially when you're against players that are that experienced outside of their comfort picks.
Hmm.
I do think that maybe UCSD should try to take advantage of the mid lane here. Because if they think that the top lane just isn't going to work out for them, I do think that trying to target gank the mid lane over and over just to get your own mid laner ahead, because UCSD's mid laner Chaining Eyes, they are a very good melee mid player, such as your Silas, your Akali. I do believe I saw Jason there. So
Hmm.
just getting them ahead will be a very big will be a very big point for them.
Yeah, I think definitely those melee mid laners, especially like high mobility ones like
Mhm.
Akali and like as you mentioned possibly a Jace, it's definitely gonna be very helpful, especially in assisting other lanes such as bot lane, maybe top lane if it's close. Um, Definitely will help because they have those fast rotations, and
Right.
rotations are going to be very important in
Mhm.
making sure that the other lanes don't snowball too bad.
Right. And speaking of rotations, the mid lane quest gives them empowered recall and gives them upgraded boots,
Right.
meaning that they just have better movement, especially if you have like your upgraded Swifties or upgraded Lucidity boots,
Mhm.
since both of those give large amounts of movement speed. Maybe if we see a Seraphine, we'll see the Lucidity boots. Maybe if we see like maybe something like something cracked out like a Cassin or like a Navia, I mean, we might see Swiftness boots.
Mhm.
But I think that the roaming from mid lane combined with the jungler will be very strong, especially if the support's also playing something like your Rel or your Thresh. Because if you're playing an engaged support, it's easier to leave your AC alone and roam around. But maybe if you're playing Lucian Nami, for example, your Nami can't leave the Lucian behind.
True.
So I do think that the increased rotations, like you mentioned, will be very helpful.
Yeah. No, 100%. I agree today. So yeah, can't wait to see what the matchups are going to be like. Are there any picks that you want to see specifically? Like in terms of, I want to say like maybe the mid lane, because as you said,
Mm.
like there's the melee carries, but then like how is the Weber States mid laners? Like what are they going to pick?
I think that the mid laner is Itafushi on the side of Weber State is mostly a control mage player.
Mm-hmm.
So we might see an Oriana, we might see
Oh
some
yeah.
we might see some Hui. I do see Lux. I don't think that Mel will be played anymore. She did recently just get
Yeah,
gutted.
she did get cut in.
Thank God. I'm not a big fan of them. Um, we do think that I do think that we might see something like an Ari paired with like a Xinjiao or like a Jarvan.
Mm-hmm.
Because facilitator mages like the Orion and Ari and things like the Bruiser junglers like Wukong, your Pantheons, your Xinjiaos, they've become really strong recently. That's pretty much all the LCK has ever been playing. Same with LCS, same with LPL. I do think we might see some. I do kind of hope we see an Akali. I'm not gonna lie. I always love seeing high level Akali, and it does seem like the mid laner I was talking about is actually playing jungle. So that does seem to put an area in my plans.
Yeah. Just- yeah.
Um, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Definitely interesting here. I don't really have many other things to say when it comes to the team comp. Sorry, excuse me, team compositions from both sides here. But like you did say, I think you said Itafushi made Seraphine mid.
Right.
I think that's definitely an unorthodox pick, especially right now with
Mhm.
this meta.
Right.
I believe there are some like new item changes too, or not new item changes. There's
Right.
new items like
Exactly.
period, in with this season. Especially um like there's I think there's just like a new item for like each class, right? Like there's like for the mages, for the ADCs,
Mhm.
for the top laners. um can you like tell us more about like the new items, especially if they affect any of the
Right.
current like top laners? Because like I think like definitely especially like as you said, one of the players like plays Riven. I believe there's like a new like fighter item. I could be wrong though.
There is the item called the Endless Hunger, which gives you
I think
more
that's what it
Omnivamp when you
was.
kill someone, and it gives you
Yes.
just Omnivamp in general. They are pretty strong, like maybe fourth or third item for your
Yes.
bruiser top lanes, but I do think that they're not as good as if say something like a Death Dance or a Sarah Stage,
Hmm.
since they just give you so much durability rather than just a pure Omnivamp.
Hmm.
Now, obviously, like maybe you're playing Aatrox or something or Zahan, then
Right.
you're gonna want that Omnivamp,
Right.
which Death Dance unfortunately doesn't give you. But you know, Starix Gauge gives you and Death Dance give you that Endless Hunger don't durability. They
Mm.
mean that because you need to hit your abilities in order to heal,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But if your damage is just being if you're just getting a big shield or your damage is being taken to you over time, then it's just
Mhm.
easier for you to fight more. So I'm personally not a big fan of the Endless Hunger item, but I do think that it's still kind of strong. I do remember seeing something like a crit Riven build that just came out recently with Aloes.
Interesting.
I doubt that they're either gonna. I doubt that first off, we're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna see Riven get come through.
Hmm.
I also don't think that the Riven would ever build crit.
Yeah.
Even if the jungler is playing like say playing a tank like your Sejuani or like Zac, I really don't think it's a good idea.
Hmm.
Um, one another items that are really important in support role. For your engaged supports, you have the battle pipes. Once you slow or CC someone, you get increased attack speed, which is super important for your picks like your Yunara, your Jinx, your just like your ADCs that just rely on just fully attacking them. And then you also have your Echoes of Helia just got reworked, and you also have the Diadem of Songs.
Hmm.
Those two items combo really well for enchanters. Seraphine specifically benefits really well from it. So if you do see the Seraphine come out, I did see that they were using that build even in the mid lane or bot lane. So even if you're not playing, even if you're playing a damage role, you can still build those two items and still do enough damage while
Hmm.
also being very helpful to your team.
See.
That being said, I also don't think the Seraphine's going to be let through, so
Yeah.
we'll see about this.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. There's definitely going to be, in my opinion, I'm gonna predict some unorthodox pick between the two,
Mhm.
between the two teams. We'll definitely see once draft comes along,
Right.
whenever that comes along. But Yeah, I mean, we're just talking about some like the item changes here.
Right.
I know like some other items, but like, would you say like any of the new items are gonna be built like first item?
I think that the Battle Pass is for sure.
Mm.
If we're getting like a Rel or Nautilus,
Hmm.
even Leona. I think I've seen like even like Ashes build
Ash is really
because of the
interesting.
flows.
Hmm.
But I think if you're gonna pick Ash, you just want to play with like you want to play with a Seraphine or like with maybe Renata.
Yeah.
But one unorthodox pick I do think that we might see, like you were talking about, is the Silas Jungle.
Hmm.
Because Cheney Ice for the UCSD, Oregon TUW in the game, they are a very strong. They're a very, like I said, they're a very strong melee mid player. But you can translate that into your jungle skills with your Silas. So I do wonder if they're going to try to pry with that. Um, I think that I'm not sure what XOS Steven will play because I haven't been able to actually look at their pools. I do believe I saw some Yasuo. I do think we might see some Jace jungle as well. Jace recently got reworked to have a bunch of damage buffs to the jungle monsters. So if the junglers are good enough at Jace specifically, then they would be very good to play.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely like. I personally haven't caught up much when it comes to the pro play scene, so it's definitely really jarring to see like
Right.
a bunch of like these like usual like top laners, mid laners in the
Right.
jungle, like you said, like Jace, Yasuo.
Hmm.
Well, actually, I know Yasuo used to be in the jungle quite a bit, but
Yeah.
it's definitely yeah very interesting to see,
Right.
especially with the jungler changes. But
Yep.
it's
There's also Aatrox jungle popping up a lot.
Aatrox in the jungle.
Yeah,
That is
they buffed the jungle damage, but I do think that they're gonna keep it top lane because considering both top laners are very good at Aatrox.
yeah yeah.
Um, I do wonder about how the jungler and support are going to perform for Weber State because I was looking at their match history recently. Gloomgrove is not a jungler.
Hmm.
They are a full AD main, but they also play a decent amount of Xinjiao. So maybe they want to spend their third ban on that Xinjiao, or maybe they want to try to get maybe they want to ban out the mid laner even more just to create that larger deficit.
Hmm.
Um, I think that we might see some boring mid lane matchups, honestly, like the Hui, and because Hui's really good at neutralizing lane states.
Yeah.
We might see XOS even pick something like an Oriana or something like with that doesn't require as many hands. Because like I was saying, they have not played that many games this season.
Hmm.
In fact, I found no games this season on their OPGG,
Oh
which is which is what you want to hear when you're playing against them, right?
yeah.
But I do think that they still should be able to play decently.
Hmm.
Maybe we'll see Victor, maybe we'll see like some just whatever mid laner they can. They'll do a lot of damage without having to do much.
Yeah, without too much investment, you'd say.
Right.
Yeah.
I did see that some mid laners are taking Ghost now because
Oh yes.
they changed home guard to make it so that you can just back and come back with a lot more moves than normal.
Hmm.
So some mid laners just stop taking DP altogether. Like maybe like your Ryzer to Leo take Ghost because they want to move around a lot more.
Right. Yeah. You can definitely tell mobility, as you recall, like it's definitely just a lot more important in the season.
Right.
Um, like you said, it's definitely gonna be interesting. We're definitely gonna have to be watching um over like a lot of rotations in this game.
Mhm.
Like you said, like some players are gonna be playing like possibly a Jace in the jungle. That's already a lot of mobility. Possibly a Kali in the mid, and more mobility added.
Yep.
And especially with a lot of people like choosing different items now.
Yep.
And it seems like we are heading into the draft now.
Perfect. So like I said, so I do think we should also focus on the bot lane here, right? Because you also have like your bands such as your we do see the Riverman coming out immediately.
For sure.
That's I do think that Seraphine will be the next. I'm not sure what Weber State will go for the ban here. Maybe they'll try to get rid of some of the top lane pool to make their top lane match easier. We do see the Mundo ban coming out. Um, and then the Ash ban as well. Are we going to see a Seraphine ban? I'm actually not too sure if we should give that 1 million master point or one trick. But we
That's
also
true.
see a Swain.
Same
I'm
bit. Interesting.
interesting about the Shinjal ban too.
Mm.
Maybe I see. I disagree with this. I disagree with the Ash ban honestly. And best of ban, I like that. Top laner is very strong,
Mhm.
but I really do not like that Shinjal ban or the Ash ban. The Nico, we do see Nico coming in, which means the Garen is the lock. Wow. Um, and then the Wukong, obviously. I do think we might see something like an Ari or Seraphine to come in the mid lane.
Mhm.
We do see
There's your build,
Nazir,
or is your pick? Sorry, yes.
right? Sivir Nico, I do like that. Seraphine is a lock.
Seraphine instant lock. Wow.
Yeah. I can't believe they let the Seraphine through. I thought they would have gone for like some Seraphine pick right after, but
Yeah.
um, we do see the Sivir coming in. Sivir will be a very strong late game champion because they can kind of just farm and sit back while the support roams, which is what the Nico wants to be doing. They want to be roaming around, getting as many engaged as they can. We do see a Silas ban, like we were talking about, Renekton ban as well. I don't know why they banned Renekton if they already picked Garen. If Weber say already picked Garen, that's a very interesting thing for me. Aatrox ban I like. How do you feel about the ban so far? You know, it's a pretty good ban too.
Yeah, I think the only one that was jarring to me was Ash for some reason.
Mhm.
And also like you said, the Renekton ban. Oh, a Corky pick, very
I
uh
hate Corki. I hate Corki so much. Corki
yeah.
is such a nothing champion.
Yeah, Corky's a little boring to watch, but very, very viable champ in the end.
Hmm.
We see Jarvan and Jax come out on the side of UCSD,
Right,
and it looks like the Alistar is gonna get picked.
right. One thing I one thing I do want to highlight is that the Jarvan Nico combo will be pretty strong, especially with the Azir. I think I would have if we were gonna go for the Jarvan, I think I would have preferred the Orianna,
Mhm.
but maybe XYC just prefers Azir as a character.
Mhm.
Normally, we do see like the Orianna Azir trades because those two are just super strong against each other,
Yeah,
and you can never let one go without the other happening.
yeah,
But I just think that the Seraphine pick is just super strong, so they're kind of willing to forego the Orianna.
yeah. It seems like they really do put a lot of trust in their Seraphine pick, like you just said.
Right.
Um, I do wonder, like, do you remember seeing if the Corky, like, have they practiced a lot of Corky? Because like, why else would they pick this champion? Like,
Right.
please.
So Corky's whole thing is that Corky is a very strong like early game champion, right?
Yes.
He can bully champions from left to right. He just out damages them all. But normally he's picked with something like with something like the Nico because Nico also is able to trade. So I don't understand why they went for maybe they went for a Corky early rotation and so they could take away the pick from UCSD
Yeah.
and they told the server so they could just farm safely away from the Corky. But I personally am a big hater of Purple Corky. I think that Corky does not do enough damage for what you need him to do, and even though he bullies hard, he does not bully hard enough for what you need to do, especially if you don't have something like the Nico.
Yeah.
I do think the Alistar is a really good pick into the Azir, Jarvan, Nico because the Alistar can just headbutt anyone in a way that tries to do something.
Yeah.
But I still really dislike this Corky pick. I do think that they'll do well. Obviously, they practice for this. Corky's a meta ADC. They want to play for this.
Mhm.
But I really just don't think Corky does anything. I do think Corky is a bit of a potential man.
Yeah, I definitely agree here. Like, I feel like Alistar, yeah, he has some like engaged potential, but I think like you said, he's more like picked as just like a peeler. Like, he just peels
Mhm.
against that Azir, that Jarvan, that Jax.
Right.
When like Corky, like you said, like really does need like a little bit more engagement. Like what support would you say other than Nico like would have worked well along with this Corky? Would you say like a hook champ or
I
like
think that
a
the Alistar
tanker?
is fine. I just think it's that the Corky is
No,
fine.
it's
It's
just the
just the
Corky then.
Corky.
That's fair. Like I said, it's been a while, so I don't. Is,
Right.
is Garen like a common pick now? Like,
Garen is more of a comfort pick, I think. We don't really see Garen too often. He's
mhm.
more Garen is kind of the I kind of don't know what to pick, so I'm just gonna pick a scalar kind of champion.
Yeah,
I do think that if I remember correctly, Garen Jax is Garen favored.
interesting.
So I have my top lane match is really big, but I think that the Wukong is also going to do a lot of damage here because the Wukong's a great engage jungler, especially pairing with the Seraphine and Alistar.
Yeah.
So I think that will be enough engage for the Corki to do what they want to do.
Mhm.
It's just that the issue is that I don't know if the Corki will have the damage to do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Especially if there's two builds you can go with Corki right now, right? There's the Essence Reaver crit build, or you can go the Trinity Force and Manamute build.
Mhm.
For some reason everybody keeps going to Trinity Force build when me personally I don't think that it does enough damage. Meanwhile, the Essence Reaver crit build doesn't have enough tankiness to it.
Mhm.
So Corki wants to build Trinity for the health, but he also wants to build Essence Reaver for the damage.
Right.
But he can only pick one
Yeah.
because they're both Sheen items.
Mhm.
So I don't I think if I see a Tear of the Goddess on the Corki, I might crash out.
Yeah, 100%. And like as you're saying, like the Corki, yeah, might lack a little bit of damage, and we're gonna have to see if like the Seraphine can output enough consistent damage too. Like definitely like looking at it, like Weber State University, they don't, in my opinion, they don't really have that like consistent damage. It's more like of a
First,
burst.
right?
Yeah. We're all looking over at like UCSD's team.
Mhm.
It's definitely like a little bit more consistent. Yeah, they
Right.
still got like the burst playstyle with that
With the
Jax
Jarvan and Nico, yeah.
and Jarvan Nico. But then we also have the Azir and Sivir that are going to take a little bit of time.
Right.
Definitely going to need the Jarvan and Jax to engage well
Mhm.
for in order for the damage to like really scale
Right.
up during the team fight.
Something that I think will come. I think the fights will actually depend on. I think another thing that the fights will depend upon is the Azir ult because Azir's a champion where he can play backline, he can play full damage, he can play. I think that his ultimate is either going to be is best for peel or for engage, right?
Right.
But I think that he should. I think that the Azir should mostly try to just peel. I don't think that they should be trying to like look for any insects unless they maybe get like the Seraphine and Corgi out specifically.
Yeah.
Um, but I do think that the Azir will be playing more of a backline role here. I think same with the Seraphine, honestly. I don't think that Seraphine should be going for any like Diadem and Songs or Echoes Haley build I was talking about because they're the only AP on their team.
Yeah.
Meaning that they should go for their full damage, Black Fire Torch, your Leandries, your kind of maybe Raw Crystal Step there. But I don't know. This kind of just seems like it seems like a really strong comp, but the surfing is like kind of a shoe in because of how strong the players are surfing. I think that they could also. I think that maybe like an Ario and Oriana would have been really good here as well. But I think that surfing's a fine pick. I think that it all comes down to ball lane and top lane here.
Hmm. Yeah, and like as you're saying, um, like the two top laners, we were mentioning like maybe like potentially more carry champions, but I would say like yes, they do have the potential to carry, but they're not like carry champions like
Mhm.
potentially like Aatrox
Right. They're
and
not
like
your juggernauts.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
And also I do agree with your take on Azir definitely being a backliner here because how do I state it like Azir he can get like suppressed by the Garen Q.
Right.
He can get the Alistar knocked out. So there's just so many things to stop him from be able to like do anything. Like in second, like you
Mhm.
said.
Right.
Yeah.
Another thing I think that should be brought up is how the top lane matchup will go. Like I was saying, I do think that Jax Garen is more Garen favored, especially if the Garen is at like a higher skill level than the Jax is. But I also think that like I think that I think that the Jax pick will be fine. Hopefully, I think that he can put in a lot of work as long as he just doesn't die to Garen, and the same obviously because both are scalers. But I think that it's gonna be I think that the Garen pick will be interesting to see. We are waiting to see. We are waiting to see for the stream to come on. Um, I think another thing to focus on is like. I think another thing to focus on is the Corki bot lane, right? Because the bullying from against the Sivir. Um, but I think that the Sivir Nico is an interesting choice because Nico's more of an early game engaged champion
Right.
and like an early game bully. Meanwhile, Sivir's more of a late game scaler that kind of just farm for 40 minutes.
Hmm.
So I think that the Sivir probably would have been better paired with maybe like a Lulu or something. But I also think that Sivir is also very strong with engaged champions regardless.
Hmm.
So obviously you have your what do I say? You have your like Sivir Blitzcrank is one of the better champions, one of the best bot lane combos in the game. We do see that Corki has already killed the bot lane here. Apologies, we had some stream delay here. Garen has already solo killed Jax as well. Let's see. I do see that there's a Ignite burn for both top laners. No sums on the bot side except for an Alistar flash. We do see a barrier burn for the Sivir, but overall, I think we're still in that early game phase. We're just kind of trying to farm. I do see Corki on an early cold, which is interesting. We do see a flash out. Miss combo from the Alistar there, which I think maybe they're just trying to like get the Sivir away from any of the minions. I think Sivir Alistar is also kind of a hard matchup because you can't really spell shield a knockup because you'll get hit by the headbutt first. But if you spell shield the headbutt, you'll get hit by the knockup. So it's just kind of hard here. We just need the crab coming for Jarvan as well.
Yeah, we're gonna see if the Wukong is gonna try to get a little scuffle with this crab, and I don't know which one got it.
It doesn't seem like there's a clean spine on the side of the Jarvan. Jarvan has one less stack than the Wukong does. Wukong, this kind of just doesn't seem like a fight that's ever gonna go anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe they might go for an engage here. Seraphine is out of mana. Wukong's going for a little scuffle onto the Azir here. That does a good damage onto the Azir. The Wukong gets in the queue, but isn't able to get that. Isn't able to finish it off. But the flash comes in, and the turret doesn't even manage to help. The Jarvan tries his best to finish it off. He's gonna flash this away, but he does, and the Seraphine is out of mana, and does have their flash left. But I do think that the Jarvan will be able to get away because of the Flag and Drag. Alistar is very low health all of a sudden. We do see that the Sivir is trying to chase it up, but the Seraphine managed to get the kill in the end. Seraphine did burn her flash, so that is a decent trade for the Azir. Azir does have a good ways here, and it's looking like a very bloody game just off the bat.
Yeah.
We do see that Azir is actually going back onto the Sivir. The Sivir gets the nose to get him away. And the W is coming in. The lethal tempo is doing a lot of damage, but I don't know if the Azir has the damage. There's a flash coming in. The lethal tempo manages to save the game. And that is a solo kill in the top lane as well. What is happening this game?
Definitely very bloody fights coming out here. Like you said, within the first 4 minutes, 8 kills have been dished out on both sides here. And it looks like Weber State does come out in terms of kills, but And also the gold state is kind
Oh,
of
and we
in
do see the
the
scuffle coming to the Corki. The berry is burned, but I do think that the Wukong is just going to be able to get a free kill onto Nico or to the Sivir. Sivir does have flash, does burn, but gets stunned by the Alistar in the scuffle. He misses the Q, but the Jarvan comes in to save the Nico. But this just seems like a dead Corki as well. That's a good kill coming from the side of the Sivir. This Alistar is going to get the kill, but there's fine. There's no gold going over to the carries, and the Jarvan gets away as well. That is a 1-for-1 in the bot lane. It is looking like a very solid game for the Sivir so far. And that's a tear of the goddess on the Corki! Why? Stop building mana mute on Corki! Just go Essence Reaver! Oh my god!
Yeah. And while while we were spectating over the bot lane there, you can also look. It looks like top lane is not looking good for UCSD either, as they are down.
Oh, there's Emperor's Divide coming for Seraphine, and that is looking like a single soul in the mid lane.
Yeah, that's nice ult from Azir there. But yeah, looking back at the top lane there, yeah, we could definitely see that the scuffle between the Garen, like you said, the Garen is definitely favored, and Jax does go down.
That is a third solo kill for the Garen here. This is not looking like a fun game for Zhang Feng on the top lane. There is the Ignite burned already, but I mean, at 3 kills, what are you going to do at this point? Jax just needs to farm up. I don't think that this is looking like a fun game for anyone on the top side.
Yeah, it was just like you predicted. Looks like mid lane is definitely going to be like our favored lane here, and then mid lane is definitely going to be tough. We'll definitely see how it goes.
Good trade coming from the bot side. I think that's about half health on the Corki, while about 80% for the Nico, which is kind of important when you're playing an early game bully like Corki. Now they're down to a third of their health. It's just this Corki pick is just not doing anything.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna see this Corki clear the lane at the bottom and maybe possibly a recall. It seems like that Seraphine bullying damage is definitely excuse me, is hitting that Azir. But yeah, looking at the state of the game, Weber State is still maintaining their 1k gold lead.
Right, and it may be a 1k gold lead, but if you look into the bot lane, we do see that the Sivir is ahead of the Corki in gold. Like if they're about even in plays, the Sivir has a kill up on the Corki and is up about 2 CS, which isn't it doesn't mean too much, right? But I think what's important is that the Sivir's if the Sivir goes even in this lane, the Sivir's won. So this just means that Pythol is just free to just farm and scale up. I mean, they have a level 6 advantage already. But again, this Corki pick is just doing nothing. Alistar trying their best, but I just think that the Alistar, once they hit level 6, should just go roam.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like you said, thankfully the bot lane is going quite even here. It seems like there's another couple mid.
But we see the Cataclysm coming in from the Jarvan. The Seraphine tries to get the Encore to maybe get that last kill onto the Zero, but there's just not enough damage. XTY Steven managed to get the third kill in the mid lane. We know this is a very happy Zero and a very happy Sivir, but it's not exact. But I think the Jax has seen better days.
Yeah, like back onto the gold lead, we could definitely account most of the gold lead over to the Garen on the state of Weber State University, as they are up 30 CS.
30 CS is rough, especially at 7 minutes. Oh, there's a good root coming in from the Nico. I do think that this may be a kill into the Corki if they feel like it. We do see the Cyclone coming in from the Wukong. This is a very solid engage. The Jarvan just has to run away. Flash coming in onto the Sivir. The Sivir is not going to be able to get their kills. Maybe they'll get one more auto onto this Corki, but it's not enough. And the Wukong is a greedy man. Takes away that kill from the Corki that they needed so desperately.
Yeah, but regardless of that, Wukong is 3-1 right now, so definitely still favors them quite a bit, and it looks like they are going to gather around the dragon here, trying to claim the first objective of the game.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because the Jarvan doesn't have their ult from that mid sculpt we saw earlier, so that just means that the Wukong's just free to engage onto the backline with no real issue. Nico wasn't level 6 at the time. I don't even think that they leveled up their ultimate ability, just based on the Spectre UI. But I do think that this early game is going in favor of Weber State, obviously. That's a 44 CS lead at the top lane SC for the Garen. This game is just, and now we're obviously going to more of a standstill. We do see an engage coming from the Zero already. Seraphine is getting Emperor divided once again, and the Emperor cuts them down. That is unfortunate to see as a 1 million mastery point Seraphine. You definitely want to do better. You definitely want to have better days.
100%. I definitely agree there. It's just like the Azir and the Sivir are definitely going to be what catches on this game, and as we see a little scuffle here in the bot lane,
The focus going crazy, but we just seen a HEPA pulverize coming from the Sivir. There's the Unbreakable Will Burn already. I think that this Blink, but the Pop Blossom is coming in. The Quirky flashes away. This is looking like a very even trade so far. I don't think that anything's really getting done here. But there's a flash coming in from the Alistar. The insect going in backwards. But the Quirky's way too low health. The barrier comes in from the Sivir, and they manage to get the kill. I think the cow is going mad. They should make a disease named after this, and I do think that the Sivir will be going down eventually. And unless we do see the HEPA coming in, we don't see anything big. And the Azir is finally here to clean it up. XUI Steven is very happy. XUI Steven has gone more than even. Is very happy today.
Yeah, we definitely see that as the gold lead from Azir is definitely kicking in here, as they already got an Asher's Tooth as their first item.
It's a 53 CS lead in the top lane. Jax just can't touch the wave.
Yeah, the lane is just absolutely frozen here in the top.
Wow, this Jax is just completely screwed. I think at this point they should just go proxy, honestly. And their Wukong's coming from the top lane even lower. They're even level. The Wukong goes for the Cyclone, and he gets this, and managed to get the counter strikes done, and they're able to walk away. The Garen does burn their ignite, but that is, I believe, the Demacia's Justice kill range. The mid bot lane has gone for the swap already, even though the Sivir hasn't completed their quest yet. I don't know why they're going for that. Unless the Azir just wants to go in onto the Corki. That's a lot of damage coming in. Alistar's a bit too far away to help. The Nico's coming in as well. The flash from the missile barrage is very strong, and the Azir managed to get a 6th solo kill.
Yeah, very impressive. Definitely see that the lethal tempo is definitely helping Azir in these skirmishes here. And we can see that it looks like Jax is going back into the top lane, but is definitely getting ganked once again by the Wukong.
Oh man, how can you even play anymore? That's a double flash and a full zoom in onto the Jax here. This is just a terrible game. That is a 70 CS lead at 10 minutes. That is a 3.5 CS per minute Jax in the top lane. This is a terrible game. This is probably one of the worst bleeding experiences that could ever be felt. Being frozen out by a Garen that's 70 CS up on you. I have never seen a CS lead this big. Even in the lane swap meta, I've never seen a CS lead this big.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's just the Garen is just so strong against that Jax. It's just an insane bowling experience, especially with Wukong constantly camping top lane.
Yeah, grab a tent. But I do think that this game is definitely still winnable for UCSD. I mean, the gold's only about 1,000 apart. Especially with how well the Sivir and Azir scale, especially since all the gold on the team is onto that Sivir and Azir. Because as we look onto that core camp, we do see onto that Seraphine, they're not doing so hot, especially considering they're supposed to be like the strong picks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that this game's being played out very well. We do see lane gang attempt coming in, but there's nothing coming out.
Yeah, and looking into the future of this game, or like a little bit later,
3 levels.
Oh man, we're gonna see another fight going up on the top lanes. Since Jax will be just fine though. But yeah, as you were saying, I think definitely the front line of Weber State is a little bit stronger.
Again.
Yeah.
If you look on the map, the Wukong's coming top again. They're looking for another dive onto here. I don't know why the Jack's even trying to contest this. Maybe they should just try to clear wave as humanly possible. I don't think they have the counter strike available. It's just gonna be an E, a Q, a W, and where is the ult there? Not gonna burn it today, and that is a free kill for the Garen once again. This Garrett. Oh my god, this Jax is at 3 CS per minute. I don't have any words for this top lane performance. But we do see the Embers of Light coming in. The Jarvan manages to come in, and the XY Steven is feeling great. The Dark Seal's on 2 stacks, and XY Steven and the Dark Seal's reaching even numbers of stacks.
Yeah. We're seeing another scuffle here in the bot lane, question mark. Maybe not just yet. But we can see that Wukong just recalled from top lane after that gank, and it looks like Garen does get the first tower.
Yep, and we do have Dragon coming in about 30 seconds, so they're probably going to try to fight the second Drake. Loki, I think that the Garen should actually come bot here for this Dragon fight, and we can see that he is going with that because he has his TP available, right, from his lane quest. But the Jax again is 40 CS, so they don't have anything really. They already took the tower, so I don't even know if this Jax can get back into the game. I think at this point they're just a stun bot. They're just gonna go in, E, R, and then die. But they're gonna get that crucial 1 second stun off to make sure that the team fights are won. Especially if you can get that onto that Cork and that Seraphine, is what I would normally say if that Garen wasn't 5 kills.
Yeah, that Garen is extremely strong right now. They're definitely gonna have to either run away from him or focus him down in some way, shape, or form. And we see here, it looks like Weber State University is going to pull out the Dragon here a little bit.
I do think that the Azir did see the Garen, and since they can see Seraphine in the top lane as well, that they just automatically assume that they can't contest this Dragon. In which case, I agree. Garen is in fact the highest level in the game. He has a 3 level lead, and has a 4 level lead on his own support. This is not a fight that can be won.
Yeah, I definitely agree here. It looks like Garen's pushing up mid lane, trying to pause that gap between the Seraphine and Azir, but it seems like Azir does do quite a bit amount of damage on that Garen, so it's not completely hopeless on the side of UCSD here.
Right. Now, Jax has been getting a lot more CS recently because he's against the 1-5 Seraphine instead of a 5-0 Garen. So we do see that he's still maintaining the 3 CS per minute. And he's even climbing up to, I do believe he's even climbing up to 4. He could even make it to 5 if he's lucky.
Yeah.
But I just think that this Garen pick is just gonna be way too strong. I think that even if Garen stays side laning, he maybe could possibly win. That's an ulti knight. That is a Demacia's justice. I have never seen better Garen gameplay in my entire life. That is the most skill I've ever seen. And we do see Pop also coming into this area. Encore hits both to try and get him away, and it is successful in an attempt to self heal. And we do see the Alistar coming in to try and get something done. And then there's the Wukong as well. It's looking at the San Diego Zoo up in here, but it is fortunate that the Alistar misses the combo onto the Azir. That you had one job.
Yeah, we see Nico definitely peeling here for the Azir as they
Well, the Wukong's coming back in for the Cyclone. Guess but the Flag and Dragon's coming in. The Wukong just managed to ult away. The Nico is very chunked out and does level, but the Emperor's Device coming in massive. The Cow has been flipped over. They have been tipped away. But the Azir just went into 4 people and only got 1 of them back. So it's looking like this is a lost fight. But the Flag and Dragon's coming back onto the Corki. Big damage coming in. The Wukong's looking for his time. He gets the Nico. The Sivir's way too low, but the Sketch is going to kill back onto the Sivir. And the Corki is putting in work and making me eat my words. This Wukong is going absolutely insane. And I do think that team fight win was purely because of the Azir ult only hitting 1 person.
Yeah, no, 100%. Finally, they were finally able to get that Garen down, getting rid of that bounty, but they still have to worry about the Wukong there with that 400 gold bounty and 416 KDA. And it looks like after that team fight, Weber State does lead with a 2k gold lead and potentially getting mid tower here.
I do want to note that Garen has a death knell.
He does have a death knell.
And so does Azir. That is a very sad, unfortunate life coming in. The game will just queue in and get that Demacian Justice. They're not going to burn it. There it is. Justice. That is a Demacian Justice served on the platter. And there is nothing you can do to outplay it.
And there's Azir's 3rd death.
Right.
Yeah, that's going to give Garen his 7th kill here. And now we're definitely seeing the impact here. Looks like there's another scuffle here in the top river.
This Alistar is a bit caught out, but I do think they should be able to get out, especially with the Alistar. The aftershock coming in clutch. It's just increased them because they can't really do anything. We do see the Garen's trying to chase down this Nico in this bot lane, but I don't think anything is coming out of it. Seraphine and Jax are somehow on the same level. I don't know how Jax managed to make a comeback too. I believe that is 5 CS per minute now. They're making moves. This Alistar is about a 4th of their health, but they should be fine. They look for a big spell, but the Jarvan managed to get the flash out of the Alistar. That's pretty big. But the Jarvan is kind of alone against this Corki, and the Corki does, no matter how much I try to play him, the Corki is in fact doing damage. I did hear a Seraphine ult sound effect, so I don't know what happened up in the top in the jungle, but it looks like nothing came out of it, just like with this top lane. And I do think that they're just gonna try and take this Rift Trail now. It's just kind of a free fight. I mean, there's no flash on the Jarvan. There's Azir's bot side with no TP. Your Jax is 0 and 6. I just don't think that's anything you can do. And that is a Flame Horizon at 17 minutes. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, it's looking a little rough here on the side of UCSD.
Yeah,
I was about to say a 5,000 gold, 4,000 gold lead. But yeah, 5,000 gold lead on the side of the top lane, like you were saying. Excuse me.
Garen has more gold than the Nico and Jax combined. I just want to note that.
Yeah. And we do see here Drag is coming up in about a minute. It's going to be the Earth Dragon here for the Soul. So we might see them gather around here in the ball lane.
I do think that they want to try to go. I think that UCSD has to try to stop this because I think a Garen with Mountain Drakes, the increased like armor and matrices just can't kill him. Even with his W passive already, it's just kind of hard to kill him. But I think if they sink all their research into the Garen, they'll be able to kill Garen. But they won't have anything left to kill everyone else. So that's kind of the issue when you have a Garen pick like this. Especially with the Wukong is also doing pretty strong. We do have the Rift Herald for the Wukong as well, so they could try to drag people away from the Dragon fight. Seraphine is top lane with the TP, but I think it's just looking like a posture around this.
Yeah, it does look like, as you said, there's definitely going to be a scuffle here around the bottom river as UCSD tries to deny it. But we do see Garen is on the flank here. I wonder if the wards from the side of UCSD do spawn him.
I think that they do. Azir also bought Riley's Crystal Scepter, so that'll be a lot of team fight value. Is the Jax only Iceborne Gauntlet? Why is there Chain Fist? There's no way they're building Iceborne Gauntlet here. We do see that they're looking for a posture for a fight here. The Wukong looks to get a big cyclone off, gets a Q off into the Nico, but nothing happened. The Alistar managed to get a big thing, but the Encore is blocked and hits nobody. The Nico hits a massive Pop Blossom, but it's too late for the Jarvan. The Jax is actually putting in work. The Sivir is almost dead, and he's still is able to die due to the Wukong. The Jax unfortunately does not have as much damage as he wants to. He is gonna go down in this spot. And now the Azir is left one man against the world, looking reminiscent of BDD versus KT. And it's looking like the Emperor's Divide will not be able to do anything. And this Corki is making me eat my words. This Wukong is absolutely popping off, and this Garen is just way too big.
Yeah. Wow. Just an absolute wipe from the side of Weber State University here, as they just take down all of UCSD, unfortunately, and it looks like they will go try to secure the third dragon here.
I still cannot believe that I'm seeing double-digit CS numbers from the Jax right now. It is 19 minutes.
Yeah, the Garen is 220 CS. That is quite literally.
Garen's at 12 CS per minute. Wow.
Yeah.
We do see Cataclysm coming into the bot side, so they are trying to get this kill now. And then the Nico actually takes a kill away from the Sivir Q. I think that is a crucial mistake. That shutdown goal would have been really big onto the Sivir, especially since they were looking for that BF sword back. If I could see their gold right now, I think that shutdown gold would be able to get them. They are sitting at about 500 gold, so it would not be as much. So maybe it wouldn't have gotten that BF sword instantly, but it would be a big help for that. Especially since they're trying to get that Infinity Edge. But there is just not really much else that they could do there. I mean, Nico just gets the kill. It's just important to make sure that Garen's getting away.
Yeah, 100%. And as we see here, UCSD is gathering around the Baron, but the question is, are they really going to be able to engage on, as the Azir does EQ, but doesn't really see anything here on that Alistar. And it seems like we might disengage here from the Baron, as they do see the Garen is back online, so they are a little bit afraid, but they should also be afraid of that Wukong, in my opinion.
I think that they should also be afraid of the fact that it jacks an Iceborne Gauntlet. This is just I have no words anymore.
Yeah, Jax couldn't even get the top lane tower here, and it looks like they're getting ganked once again by Wukong. What a familiar experience.
I will say that the Wukong burning Cyclone here is a bit interesting. I don't think it's worth it, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
I don't know how much gold I saw there. I think that was about not enough.
I think it's at 200.
Yeah. The Jax took a cashback. I do see that with the Iceborne Gauntlet buy. I don't know if that was exactly the play, but the Dragon smites the Gromp and misses it, and then they're looking to crash the Rift Herald into the top lane. It looks like a top tier 2. And the Garen Justice does come down, and they're going to give the shutdown to the Sivir, just like they should be. Garen has finally gone down. The beast has been slain, just for the Rift Herald to be going crazy again. And they're drifting. They call this, and they look like they're stuck in Tokyo. And then they are going to take that inhib turret. This is just an absolute masterclass of macro coming in from Gloomgrove here.
Yeah. Although the Garen does go down, I don't know if it gave much of a bounty to Sivir, so the gold value, not much, I would say. It looks like there's another scuffle here going on in the bot lane.
The Pop Blossom is pretty big into the Wukong, but isn't unfortunately able to get anything. The helicopter for Jack spins away, but is just going to crash land, unfortunately. The Nico misses the Tangle Barbs, and there is nothing to be taken from this fight. Weber State University just walked out of highway robbery.
Yeah. No. As you said, like that Jax is definitely just like a stun bot right now.
Right.
As you saw, like you said, the helicopter started, but it just crash landed in there, and as it didn't hit anything. And it looks like right now the Jax is just clearing lanes. Like, not much you can do. As you said, quite out of the game unless they get somehow like a large income of gold. But I really doubt that's gonna happen here, as the Jarvan is just scouting around Baron, making sure Viper State is not taking it. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
We are going to go back into the ping-ponging waves here. I think that if you're the Jax, you don't want to try to freeze lane around your tier 2, maybe tier 3. Which is going to be a bit hard because you need to be a master manipulating waves. The Jax is recalling here for what I could only assume is like a Randuin's at this point, or maybe Frozen Heart. They are looking to pause for a team fight here, but the Wukong is just kind of floating away. I don't know why the Jarvan went for EQ there. They managed to get hit by the Seraphine Root. Does a decent amount of damage, but the missile misses, and they're looking for the flashing gates, and the Pyramid Shuffle is massive. The Pop Blossom is huge. That's a massive team fight onto 3 people. That is a free fight, but while the Azir goes down, that Sivir does way too much damage. This is looking. They have just called animal control onto this cow, but the Wukong and Garen comes in. The double spins are going crazy. It is a big helicopter. This is a centrifuge coming in clutch. But the Garen goes down. There's just not so much damage. The Jax value is finally coming up. The Iceborne Gauntlet. I was a doubter. I'm sorry for ever doubting you. 1,000 gold onto the Jax. I am so sorry for ever doubting your Jax gameplay.
Wow, we just saw an insane turnover on the side of UCSD there. It was really important that they caught all three of the non carries.
And the
Uh,
Jackson's only 5,000 go behind now. It's massive.
yeah. But yeah, it's definitely massive here as they get I believe two towers in the mid lane. Excuse me.
Unfortunately, no Baron, but it does give them a little bit of it. I actually do think that those pushing those waves actually lost them tempo onto the dragon setup there. Because if you see that the Corki and Alistar are already Alistar's like not even looking for the dragon, which is kind of the thing about having the soul point, right? Because if UCC goes for that Baron, then they just get Mountain Soul. But if they go for if UCC goes for the dragon, then they get Baron. So it's just kind of a win-win for whoever say either way. But it does seem like they're posturing to take that dragon now with the Alistar moving bot side to try and get those wards in. Garen is moving mid lane as well. I don't think I've seen a TP burn from him ever, which I think he should just be going to push top right now so he can TP bot if he needs to. We are seeing a small chunk onto the Alistar, but there's not much going on right now. Azir's pushing out the bot lane. He did pick up the injury, so that's going to be a big damage pickup for him. I do want to note that the Seraphine has not built Riley's Crystal Scepter at all. But it seems like UCSD is going to be on the start of the dragon, but Garen is pushing mid lane into the inhibitor. There's kind of not much that they can do here. Wukong is looking for the steal here. I don't know. The flash will coming from the Sivir, but the Seraphine comes in the clutch, but the Pop Blossom is going massive. The Seraphine has been taken down already, and the Wukong managed to get the 4-man cyclone and steals the dragon away. They managed to take down the Nico clone while the Jax is able to take it back. The Corki has gone down just like I have told, just like the prophecy foretold. But what else is going down? The mid lane inhibitor and the bot lane inhibitor. This Garen's macro is insane. There is just not much you can do, but UCSD is able to take the fight crucially. Unfortunately, they lose the Mountain Soul, and they're not able to kill the Garen here, but they do kill all 4 people. I do think this is a free Baron for UCSD, but Garen is walking away with, I believe, about a 7,000 gold lead now, maybe.
Yeah, no, like
I'm a liar in a fraud, that's 6,000.
yeah, but that Baron that the UCSD is getting, I really don't see how much value they're gonna get out of here. Maybe they'll get a few turrets. I really doubt they'll get like anything more than that. And probably not an inhibitor, as like you said, that the Garen with the Earth Soul is just way too strong, way too tanky too.
Right. I do want to note that the Seraphine is down about 2,000 gold. I want to say we're looking about 2,000 to 3,000 gold gas, and of course the elephant in the room is the top lane. But I think that this mid lane Seraphine just wasn't as much value as they perhaps hoped. Except by Steven's Azir has just been way too strong against her. They've been able to take every single trade, every single solo kill. There's kind of not really much that they can do. I do think that the Baron buff for Sivir will be kind of nice because she just wants to wave clear and farm because she is on 4 items now, so she is pretty strong. But I do think that she maybe wants to look for something like a South. We do see the Garen going into the Jax here. The Jax is trying to get away. The Wukong bursts the Cyclone and misses nothing. And then the Garen, the Boston Justice gets nothing into it as well. The Pop Blossom is hitting 3-4 people, but there isn't just any follow-up. The Sivir goes down, and I do believe that is game, set, and match. The pressure set in by the Garen, the Azir combo was just not there. Jarvan wasn't unfortunately able to join the fight, and it was just a free fight as soon as the Azir burned ult, and as soon as the Sivir had no health.
Yeah, and here we're left with just Jarvan trying to defend the base, but it's clear that the game is going to be quite over here as the Garen and Wukong just clearly took over this game here, and that is going to be the first game over to Weber State University.
What a showcase by Weber State University. That was a 6,000 gold lead by the way. That man, arrows on his Garen was so strong. Wow, that was an insane top. That was an insane top lane performance. One thing I do want to note is that I do believe that what was I gonna say? I do believe that the Corki still ended up doing nothing like I predicted, but the top lane and jungle gap they played really well. The Wukong was, I think that the Wukong and that the I think that the Wukong team fight was really strong. I mean, I know that like by stats wise, player of the match should go to the arrows here, but I do think that it should go to Bloomgrove and the Wukong. They were able to walk in, steal that Mountain Soul. They were able to make engages all over. They were constantly talking with their top laner to make sure that they coordinate as many dives as possible to set that Jax even more far behind.
Yeah, I 100% agree there. The coordination between the top and jungle definitely critical. Like yes, the Garen was very far apart, but or the top lane gap between the Jax and the Garen was very far apart. But I don't think the Garen could have gone as far as it could that quick. Just the tempo of the gap in top lane would have been achievable without the facilitation of the
Mhm.
Wukong
Right.
and assistance from them. But we do got to give our flowers over to middle and bot lane, as
Right.
they did absolute work in that mid fight, that mid skirmish.
Right.
It really did seem like UCSD did have a slight fighting chance there, but then they did go down again
Right.
in the later fights.
I do feel bad for Steven here because that is your performance. It was that was a really strong this year, especially for someone who hasn't played any games this season on this account.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that it feels bad, man. You know, you tried, but you're just not able to carry the team fights. Which they did until that last team fight right there. As soon as the Zero was disconnected from his team, the game was over.
Yeah, it was just over from there. But yeah, I mean, the team fights were a nice try. It's just the jungler once again. What a critical play. They
Yeah.
dashed in, were able to steal the dragon over Jarvan, and it was just came from there.
All right. Now, as we are looking to posture in, as we're looking to go into this game too, we are going to head to a small little break. I do want to give a massive thank you to Turtle Beach for helping our players out with them. We're wonderful equipment, and we will see you for game 2.
Thank you so much.
Well, in time, would you say you ought to be able to wrap this up in 24 hours? 24 hours? 24 hours? 24 hours? Twenty-four hours? 24 hours? Twenty-four hours? 24 hours? 24 hours? Well, in time, would you say you ought to be able to wrap this up in 24 hours?
Hello and welcome back to the CLL match between UCSD University and Weber State University. Last game, we saw an absolute stomp in the top lane from Arrows. It was an absolute masterclass performance, especially from Gloomgrove on the jungle. But I do think that UCSD is coming with a fresh mindset. They're ready to take this game 2 back.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see a little bit better performance in the top lane there. Hopefully the gap won't be too big.
Right.
I just hope it's more of like a team, like just team fights, because it was mainly just like once the Wukong and the Garen come in, it was pretty much game over on the side of UCSD.
Right.
It was the only time they won against those two was just a 5v2, and
Yeah.
that was just like a incidental skirmish after they picked off 3.
I do think that the mid lane fight was. Still think that fight in the mid lane was pretty strong for UCSD. It did show that the Azir is actually putting work and doing a lot of damage. But unfortunately, the Azir was always the first one to die, and they can't allow that when Azir is the one that needs to be doing the damage.
Right.
While Silver was at 4 items, the Silver did not build more. The Silver went Mortal Reminder instead of LDRs, which means you don't have the Giant Flare passive. I think at that point you should have just let your Azir build the Oblivion Orb and it just have you be LDR so you just do more damage.
Yeah.
Although I don't think that game was in any way or shape or form the Silver's fault.
Yeah.
Silver played well. The support played well. Pyfel and BBW they played their absolute best, and I do think they showed. Especially XC by Steven. We cannot talk about the game without talking about Steven. That was a really strong game coming from Steven. What was it, like 10 and like 2 was here?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I think it was like more accurately 10 and 4. But either way, yeah, absolute insane performance from Steven there.
Yep.
But as equally important performance on the side of Weber, with Eros and I believe Defushi, or not Defushi, but was it Gloomgrove? Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like we will be heading into the draft soon here, and I'm hoping to see some fresh new picks here as we go into the first ban from UCSD.
We are so happy to have Fearless Draft on our side, because we just get free new picks every single day. However, I do remember that they did leave the Orianna open, so I do wonder if they're going to try to pick for that or if they're going to ban for that. But I mean, that implies that they play Orianna, right?
Yeah.
Because while Orianna is one of the strongest mid laners in the meta, maybe not that strong. Maybe it's not so strong. You just have anyone pick it. We do see the Ashe and Mundo ban coming in. I do agree with them. Mundo's a pretty strong pick, especially with our team comps. The Riven man, obviously, you can't let that Riven ever go through. I'm curious about the Ashe ban, especially since Seraphim's gone now. Swain's still banned out. I guess they hate that Swain. We do see Lucian ban as well, which does leave the Nami open for like picks like Draven or even things like I think it's mostly the Draven as well to Corki, but Corki's gone, so can't really pick Corki Nami. We do see Ambessa ban coming as well. I do wonder we're gonna try to first. What UCSD is gonna try to first pick here. We do see Xinjiao taken away from
Interesting.
The Lux insta lock. I do like that. This does imply something like a Kaylin bot lane. It could also just be like a. Could also just be some like bot lane or mid lane pick even. I do believe the mid laner does play Lux. Would you see a Caitlyn or counter picked by a Karma? What? I'm sorry. It's just like the one way you beat Caitlyn is by pushing him out and making sure that they can't abuse the early game, and they left Karma open.
Yeah.
They pick Caitlyn into a Lux, which is a Lin bully. And then just for Lux to not even be the support, and then they pick Karma, and Karma is also a very lane bully support. I mean, like, what's do they pick just Varus? Does the Inara? Correct. Okay, Inara's a fine pick. I'm happy with this.
Yeah, 100%. I think it was definitely good counter picks on the side of Weber here. Looks like the top lane matchup is going to be Gnar versus Renekton. Which one would you say is more favored, or is it going to be like pretty balanced?
Generally, in a solo queue environment, it is Gnar favored. Because Renekton is in this weird spot where he loses to Mini Gnar, but he beats Mega Gnar.
Yeah.
But in pro play, as we've seen with like in LCK or LCS, we do see Renekton actually does have a leg up on Gnar. But I don't think this is the LCK.
Yeah.
I do think that the Gnar is going to have a big advantage here, especially since the top laner for Weber is a very experienced top laner. So not only that, they have a lot of mastery on Renekton, so they know exactly Renekton's limits, which means that they can also play around the Gnar limits as well, even if they're not as proficient as the Gnar. I do think that he knows exactly how to play that matchup as an Gnar.
Yeah, I hope it's not as big of a stomp in the top lane there, as the matchup is not as one-sided or like favored, like you said.
Right.
I believe, is that a Volibear jungle.
That is a Volibear jungle into the Sinjao. It's really funny because I remember back in 2021 where Sinjao was like the pick or ban jungler. Volibear was the counter to him.
Yeah,
So it's like it's kind of a draft gap here. Like the Karma Lux Volibear, the Karma and the Volibear picks are just they're such good picks into UCSD here.
yeah,
I don't know how the Tritons will come back with this draft. The Caitlyn Rakan is not exactly the best bot lane combo. Rakan wants to obviously go in and have like more steady damage than the Caitlyn. Caitlyn wants to be full damage
Yeah.
early on, full lane bully.
Full
It's
lane
like
bully.
Corki, it's like Corki, but she does damage.
yeah,
And like obviously with like Storm Razor coming back, so she has better items. She has Hex Optic C44, the new item does more damage the longer your auto ranges.
Mhm.
But the issue is you're against the Karma, so you're just gonna be out bullied by the Karma.
yeah.
Like we saw with the Nico and the Corki earlier. Corki is supposed to be the early game bully, but UCSD picked Nico and it just completely out bullied the Corki. So I do think we're gonna get a repeat of that, but just in reverse, where Karma just out bullies the Caitlyn. The Caitlyn just isn't able to play the game as well, especially since Yunara is actually decent. He is pretty decent early game, especially with their Q giving her like an auto reset and giving more on hit, giving more damage. But it's just like I cannot believe that this draft just happened for UCSD.
Yeah, it's not looking too hot here. I would say they're like early damage is okay too, but like so is the early damage of the Weber State University. So it's really just gonna come down to which team plays better in the skirmishes.
Right. I do see the draft order because this isn't exactly the same draft order as in the actual draft. I do see that the Lux was a blind pick into the Syndra, which means that they just blind picked Caitlyn with Karma open and didn't pick the Karma.
Yeah.
Which I understand if you're trying to pick like Caitlyn into Yunara to try to outbully Yunara to make sure that they can't like get anywhere. Why would you leave the Karma open? Or why would you not pick something like the Lux, which not only takes away pick from the mid laner, but also is a better bully because Caitlyn Lux is the bully combo, right?
Yeah.
So it's just I don't like this draft at all.
Yeah, it's honestly like you said, not the best draft.
Mhm.
But I think both teams have like high like this damage output in the beginning, so
Right.
it's just I think it's gonna come down to like mechanics a lot too. But so far from what we've seen, the mechanics on Weber State University is quite strong here.
Yes.
And yeah.
I do wonder about the Syndra pick. It was a counter pick into the Lux. I do think that Syndra does have a pretty decent matchup into Lux. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just whoever gets hit by the stun first loses.
Mhm.
But I think the difference is that Lux is a root and Syndra's is an actual stun, which means that Syndra can actually still do the damage while she gets stunned. But this is a very burst heavy comp from ST, and I think that they still lose in the burst versus the Volibear Yunara Karma, especially to Nara as well, because Nara provides such good excellent team fight setup. But I don't know. As a big fan of UCSD myself, I'm not looking forward to this game.
Yeah, it was still gonna be a little bit rough as here as we hop into the rift.
We are here.
We're here, yes. Please excuse my coughing.
It's all right. We forgive you.
Thanks.
All right. Now we are starting to get into the match. We do see the Dorn Shield pick up for the Renekton. I like that. We do see a green pet for the Zinjao. I'm pretty sure that blue is just better, especially if you're going to try to be ganking, especially if you want to set that Caitlyn ahead, you want to be ganking bot as much as you possibly can. But you also want to be ganking top as much as you possibly can based on how the last game went. While Nar isn't exactly a solo carry pick, I do think that they are still very strong in the team fight. Lux has no items. We do see an E-Tray coming from Renekton as well. There's easy conquer proc. That's very strong because the Narn will be able to TP back, but they are getting all the damage back onto them. If I can see the Renekton cooldowns, I'd love to. They're looking back for the fight. Lux still has no Doran's Ring. We do see the E coming back in, and in the midst of the E2, Lux should be winning this trade, right? With the Arcane Comment and the E and the passive.
Have they not noticed?
I think that they're missing some Adaptive Force here. In fact, they're missing some mana regen, they're missing some health, they're missing some 5 extra AD onto minion damage.
Yeah.
Lux is still winning the trade. Lux doesn't have potions. They can't trade back.
Yeah, it seems like seems like Lux. It seems like there was another skirmish at the top lane, and the Gnar flash was burned.
As well as Renekton Ignite as well. We just said the bot lane is trying to get into a fight here. We just said Lethal Tempo. No Summoner spell burnt yet, but it is a win for the side of the Caitlyn. Nara is forced to burn his TP very early, which means the Renekton is able to just get that free crash onto him. We do see Rakan Lockup coming in. There's the singular auto onto the Karma, ensuring that trade is won. And if you look into the mid lane here, someone's especially low on mana for some reason. I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, I don't know why.
They do have the TP though, so they should be able to get back into this lane very quickly. This is looking like both jungler are pathing bot side, but this Xinjiao has some very odd pathing. It does seem like no. I'm sorry. Volibear has a quick. I thought that Xinjiao was bot side for some started top side. But this is just the center bot lane. The Karma is being outplayed by Caitlyn, making me once again the bot lane is making me eat my words. But the Renekton is a level down. There is just kind of whatever is happening. We do see a small skirmish going on. Doesn't get to level 3 yet, so the Renekton just kind of EQs away. Gnar still is very happy to be here, I think. The lack of Ignite on the Renekton is very strong for him, especially since the Renekton didn't take PTA, so it's not going to be a very easy kill. We do see Volibear's bot side onto that. We do see a big, small auto attack coming in. Dodges the stun. The wall isn't able to hit them, and the crunch just misses completely. We do see a flash coming in. Is he going for the slice and dice? And that is a solo kill onto the top lane. That's my goat in the top lane, UCSD. We are able to take that game back. That is revenge for that 6,000 gold lead from the first game.
Yeah, hopefully they can still maintain that that gap here, and hopefully UCSD is able to revert the situation that they had last game.
I never doubted him.
You never doubted him.
Not for 1 second.
Seems like Volibear is rotating here into the bot lane, but is going to recall as they were spotted by the ward bush, or bush ward, whatever it's called. The tri-bush, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, it seems like Volibear is going to channel back here as Rakan is looking out for them, but they're already gone.
I do want to note that the Lux does seem to have a bit more AP now and does have a bit more mana than normal.
Bit more HP.
Yeah, I don't know why. Just it's not, maybe they don't care, like the Lux.
Just now in the middle of the game.
Yeah, just in the middle. That's hot fix, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. I do believe there's no objectives coming up yet, so it is just pure skirmishes here. Seems like Renekton is not getting too outbullied here by the Gnar. In fact, they are quite healthy. Excuse me.
I do believe that the first dragon spawns at about 5.5 minutes, but I could be wrong because I cannot see the juggle timers yet. But it is just some easy small trades into the. There we are. 45 seconds into the first dragon. Volibear is topside and Xinjiao is bot-side. So Volibear could look for the top side invade while Xinjiao goes for the dragon. I can't tell exactly which dragon it is first. We just see Rakan coming in mid and then absolutely gets nothing done. But that's just kind of the Discord lifestyle, you know? You go rid, do whatever you want, then come back and do it, and then you just hang out.
Yeah, but I think thankfully Rakan didn't over-rotate anywhere, as you said. Didn't dive in too deep, because if Rakan were to go down, that'd be quite bad for the Dragon Team fight that is imminent here, as we see Volibear is rotating down, and it seems like Caitlyn and Rakan just going to try to push away, get a little bit of chip damage on the Yunara to weaken her before the fight, and we see the Gnar's TP is actually not available, so Gnar isn't going to be able to really help out in the Dragon fight, but they probably will. Syndra and Lux, it looks like Volibear might gank here in the mid lane.
This kind of looks like a very easy gank, but unless you miss the stun, like that's kind of weak. Managed to go wide, but still managed to get the kill away. The Volibear isn't even going to go with. Syndra now has level 6, so she kind of just would pop the Volibear. Renekton is still chilling in the top lane, feeling very happy after the solo kill, and feeling very happy that they don't have to go against the 5 kill Garen.
100%. No 5k gold lead just yet. Hopefully the 5k gold lead goes towards Renekton in this game.
Yes. As unbiased commentators for UCSD.
Yes. Yep. Just like you said.
Syndra does go for the recall here. I kind of agree with it, but I kind of was hoping that they go for the plates, but they kind of don't have any health, and Lux just hit level 6. But Lux could also just easily ult the wave and just crash it. So I do believe that there's the ult burn right there. So that is a free wave crash for the Lux, and that is a completely missed wave for the Syndra. Rakan misses the knock-up, and the Syndra, I do see the Mantra Q, Mantra E coming in instead. There's no Mantra W, the Q is going normal, but the Rakan has no health left whatsoever. Burns the flash, burns the heal, but isn't able to get that final hit off. The Slurkle isn't able to hit them, and the Caitlyn just walks away, and there is absolutely 0 deaths in the poly. That is highway robbery. There is no way the Rakan walked out there alive.
What the heck? Yeah, no, I totally expect at least 1% to die there. Seems like Volibear and Lux is rotating down for the dragon, but it seems like Weber's are going to be able to get it for absolutely free. I wonder if Caitlyn's going to get picked off here.
I do think she will, even though Lux doesn't have the ult, she does have the long range to kind of stop it. Yunara doesn't have the health, but I think as long as Karma or Lux tank it should be fine. Managed to flash out of the Lux ult, isn't able to get that last headshot off to get that kill. But the Karma root is coming in massive, the Lux E comes in, but manages to miss the roots, means that Caitlyn gets to walk away for free. Hypel is doing very good evading that attempt, and Itafushi has been taken down by Doragon. And that is Syndra ult burned, and that is two very low health bars on the side of Weber stage. But this early game is going perfectly. Why is the Nart proxying? This is a perfect early game coming in from UCSD.
Yeah, beautiful engagement there in the bot lane from UCSD as Caitlyn was able to survive. Great footwork there from Caitlyn as they dodged all the skill shots from Lux.
While having barrier up,
Wow, yeah, wow.
While having barrier.
Yeah. I wonder if they just got it, but Recon here is chipping slowly away at the tower. Hopefully getting that play. Yeah, I guess play day. Excuse me.
We do see about 20 CS lead coming in from the Syndra, so that is pretty good. We do see the forbidden number on Caitlyn CS as well. Actually, a pretty solid wave of lead. I do think that the gold lead is was nice. That 2K for all across the side of UCSD.
Look at Renekton's CS level. Nice. Ooh.
Very nice. And the Mantra Q managed to hit the Caitlyn. It's kind of going back to the wave states, they're just farming, doing nothing. We do see potential trades from the bot side. Yunara does want to go in. She does have the ult, but only burns the Q instead. Nothing is coming from this bot lane, and they're just going to push this in and just try to poke even more.
But it seems like Kayla and Rakan are doing a very good job sidestepping all those Karma skill shots along with the Yunara engagements. But it looks like not the Herald, sorry.
The Grubs are coming up.
The Grubs are coming up. I wonder if any fights are going to occur over that. Seems like Caitlyn is going to experience a little bit of damage there. Rakan does try to go in for the engagement, but does miss.
Yep. And we do see the Syndra TP coming back in. She does have a Lost Shatter and Sword Shoes, which is a pretty good spike. I kind of would have preferred seeing maybe something like the Blasting One or like a what's it called, Faded Ashes, so you can get the extra damage. But I think the Sword Shoes is very good for the extra move speed, just against that Volibear and Lux. Syndra is taking the first set of Grubs. We do see full rotations from the top and the mid lane. I don't think that Volibear is ever going to try to contest this. So while they do get the first dragon, the first Grubs do go to the side of UCSD. While it does technically have a lower win rate, I do think that if we're going to be bowling this hard, then we should be trying to get that. We do see the Luxel coming in and steals absolutely nothing. And we do see the Battlelands coming in. The quickness is going crazy. The Karma just goes down just like that. Happy Valentine's Day to Rakan. He is charming everybody out there.
Yeah, it seems like once again UCSD is up here. What a great early game state from UCSD, contrary to last game, but great either way here as Syndra does get stun on. Oh, is able to cancel the recall.
I do like that. But yeah, the bot lane for UCSD is just pulling in a lot of weight. Why? I do see a Collector coming for the Caitlyn. I really wish that they went for the Storm Razor instead, especially since we want a lot more move speed against the Karma and the Volibear and the Lux and the Yunara and the Gnar. But Collector is still a pretty strong item, especially since you're going to 3 squishies. But, it's just kind of whatever. The Karma is just kind of bowling away. I do think that's a root onto the Caitlyn, and that should be a dead Caitlyn on my screen. Yunara doesn't have any mana, but I don't think she needs any mana to get this free kill, especially with Volibear.
Oh,
and the Storm Mirror comes down, and that is the most unnecessary ult I've ever seen coming in.
Holy cow. I wonder if Yunara's going to get... Probably not. I'll get a little bit of a zoom in here. And, oh, hello. It seems like Syndra's trying to rotate down to help the kills. Yeah, as I thought, the Yunara is going to go down. It was from Shinjao.
I see. Good game from him. Volibear does get the scuttle away, so they are ahead. They are actually about even in the CS lead. I wonder if the Volibear went for celerity and water walking instead of going for magic footwear. Because I do see that Shinjao has the magic footwear already unlocked, and if they were at 1 kill, Volibear should have unlocked by now. We do see a Striper coming from Renekton. I do like this item a lot. But the Gnar is also doing a lot of damage here. They're spacing perfectly. The Renekton kind of can't do anything. Procs dominates to try just to survive. But I think that any play that Renekton should go over here won't end up working out. Especially since the Renekton ult's about to run out right here. I think maybe he could have gone for like some flash, but he does go for it. There's the Ignite coming in. The Slice and Dice doesn't able to manage to get the kill, and the Q did not come out whatsoever. The Meek have not been called. They have been lulled into a good fight. And the Kaylin, speaking of the Meek, have just been killed for nothing. It is looking like a dire situation in the bot lane, but the XY Steven does manage to take it back. Xin Zhao is back to make this bot lane even, and it is looking like potentially dead Karm, but it's a good flash coming from the side of Arashi Stormblade. And the knockup doesn't manage to do much, but chunk the Karm out. The Matra W does manage to heal her back up, and it is a 1-for-1 in the bot lane, but it's also a 2-for-2 in the map.
Yeah, and here we saw like the top lane did give a little bit did give away a little bit of their advantage here, but we can see that Xin Zhao and Syndra are definitely going to be quite heavy tempo here. It looks like there's another scuttle here on the Grom.
Syndra is rotating to this. This should be a dead Volibear, I believe, on this range. Volibear doesn't have the Stormbringer just yet. They should be able to unlock bad side of Syndra hits here. That is a good stun. Slice and Dice managed to get them. And that is a good scatter of the week, and they flash away from the W, and the Stormbringer comes out, but I do believe that the Unleashed Power actually isn't up yet. They are onto the Dragon. The Xin Zhao, you have Smite! Please smite the Dragon so you can take that for your team. And they do manage to get that. That Kaylin Q did way too much damage. That felt like getting shot in real life, and that is a good team fight for the bot side. Gets the Dragon, gets the double kill, and manages to get the flash out of the Volibear at the top side.
Yeah. And here, yeah, amazing team fight from UCSD, able to secure that Dragon. I'm glad you did notice that the Xin Zhao wasn't using his smite, but he got it in the end. And yeah, the Caitlyn damage is absolutely skyrocketing here. It seems like another skirmish here in the top lane.
We do see two top laners that did forget to turn off spectator mode in the top lane. The Nara doesn't actually do too much with the chunk them out. The Renekton is trying to get the W off to see about that marker on his head, but isn't able to get really anything. Goes for the E, manages to miss the minions to get the second proc. That was a very the W just right now, meaning that the Nara just gets to get another kill. That is a really unfortunate thing to follow, because the Ziggs Converge is putting in massive work on Recon. The Charmer is putting in massive work, and that is another happy Valentine's Day. This Bear's got no one left by his side. Meanwhile, the Recon and Caitlyn are happy with their girlfriends. This is a good fight for the bot lane. The bot lane is going exactly as intended. The Flash W comes in from the Recon. The W manages to Wind becomes lightning, and the Karma becomes dead.
Well played on the side of UCSD. Here,
mid lane.
Wow, Syndra is almost dead as we look over them, but they were thankfully able to dodge the Q, so they are still alive for now. Hopefully they don't get caught here, but yeah, it seems like the game's going to slow down a little bit here as I don't know if any objectives are up, if we could get the timers. Looking at the gold differences here, not too bad on any of the lanes. Unfortunately, top lane is down again, but only by a few hundred gold, so it's not too bad. Overall, UCSD is up in terms of gold.
I do see a 2,000 gold lead coming from the jungle and about 1.3k and 1.5k from the bottom mid lane. This is kind of just this is exactly how you want your early game to go as a Xin Zhao Caitlyn comp, especially when your support is more of a team fight engaged support instead of a bully support, which is for some reason building Moonstone Renewal instead of their latest build. But I do understand why you want to be an enchanter with Yunara. I mean, you want to make sure that Yunara is staying alive as long as possible. Because Yunara is a very strong late game scaler. That is, unless she is 1-4, so she isn't able to get that gold that she needs.
Yeah. And here, I don't see anything coming up once again. Looks like the Renekton's going back, and it seems like they are going to be, as we head into the later stages of the game, is going to be bullied here. It looks like there's a Link
coming in. The walks towards the wall against the Megadar does not seem to be the best play. The Dominus comes in, but the team is back here to back them up. Another great team fight coming in from Rakan. This bot lane is absolutely popping off. Renekton has been bailed out by his team for once instead of being left hung up to dry. And the Syndra is actually putting in a lot of work, dodging all of those skills with her WQ. Oh. That is a massive oh my god! Wow. That was an insane amount of damage coming in from the Syndra. That power has been unleashed, and that Lux has been dead.
Wow. Yeah, no, I wonder if, I assume it's probably coordinated on the side of UCSD for Renekton to bait a little bit there, but I really doubt Renekton knew that Volibear was in the bush. So honestly, great communication on the side of UCSD for Renekton to call for help.
Especially that prediction on the lane gang too. I don't see any like wards on the top side that could have possibly called that out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't see how the Volibear got to that bush. I'm assuming they walked through the lane, so it would have been a really strong lane gang. I mean, you saw the angle right with the Nara just for some reason Renekton walking towards the wall against Megan.
Yeah. Exactly.
But they were able to get that. They were able to get that really good engage off, but unfortunately they just didn't have the damage in the tank. I do see that Volibear's going for a Nabori quick blades instead of what I believe to be a stronger item in like a Deadman's Play or like a. I think you need to build more tanky instead of a Nabori, especially since you are the front line of the team for Volibear.
Yeah. Yeah, because like you can't really rely on Meganar to be your front line, as he's just not too reliable to always be in Meganar form.
Exactly.
So yeah, I definitely agree with that statement. But yeah, there's definitely interesting builds. Renekton now returning back into the top lane with a familiar friend Volibear in the top river, but thankfully he does have Shinja to back him up. But he is spotted by the river.
The Scarlet Bloom, yes.
Yes.
Syndra is going to go for this bot lane. The bot lane is rotating mid. We do see the Gnar and Volibear in the mid lane. I do think that Gnar's trying to try to look for some big fight here. And I guess the Gnar decides to call it off at the last minute. Caitlyn Rakan is just back in the lane. And that is 2 items on the Caitlyn. I do wonder when the next dragons are going to spawn. We do see another engage coming into the Syndra. That is a massive damage. And the Lux has been besmeeched by the Power Unleashed. That is just a dead Lux, unfortunately.
I wonder if we're going to see a dead Renekton here as he does engage onto the Garen, or not Garen, sorry.
Yeah, it's
I'm still in last game.
The trauma, I'm sure the trauma doesn't just haunt you. I'm sure it haunts the Renekton as well. But UCSD is playing this early game out extremely well. That is a 7,000. That is a 9,000 gold lead now, just by 17 minutes. This is looking very reminiscent of the last game, except it was a bit swapped around. The Rift Trail's coming in to give them a lot of extra gold. That is a 2.5k gold lead on the Yunar there, with a 2,500 for the Syndra as well. It's just gold leads across the board, except for that top lane where it's about even, which is not what you expect considering last game.
Yeah. And we see like the mid lane and bot lane are getting pushed. Yeah, as thank you for spotting it.
Flash onto the flash from Volibear goes nowhere. That lightning is kind of doing nothing. He thought that he was the storm, so he was a 9-volt battery. The Renekton is getting chunked out again by the Gnar. He is at full fury and manages to miss the E, so he doesn't able to get that reset. The flash is coming out. I do think that's a dead Renekton on my screen though. The boulders just keep coming out. He is destroying those towers. It's looking like Rampage up in here. But Yunar managed to sneak away at like 1 health, I think. That had to have been another highway robbery coming in. And the Lux ult manages to come in. The final spark is nothing but first. There is no damage coming in from the side to return onto the Shinjo.
Excuse me. But yeah. Here we see Gnar just chipping away at the top lane. Looks like Renekton is pinging for any potential help for the top lane to not go down. Looks like frick, I almost forgot his name. Rakan coming back in the top lane to support. But yeah, it seems like the UCSD did go down a little bit, but I believe they will be able to regain their composure and should be able to close out this game, I hope.
Yeah.
As they do have, like you said, like about a 7k gold lead.
We do have Baron spawning in about 2.5 minutes, I want to say. The Syndra is teeping back to her tower because I think she thought that Volibear was going to come down together. Because we did see the Lux ultra just to stop the reset, so it's kind of, I think it's a fair play. I think it would have been better just to walk back, but it is Volibear. But I guess she didn't have E up, so she couldn't stop that fight. Renekton is pushing up yet again with no vision on any of the players on the enemy team. Surely this could never go wrong. And it looks like the Renekton is safe yet again because of Gnar recalled. They do seem to be posturing towards the Baron. They do want to get that T1 Baron in, but I do think that the Dragon should be coming out soon. I would like to see the timer for those. But I don't know if I'm completely wrong. It's a 3-minute timer. But we do see a fight posturing into the top side, red side, I want to say, but I don't think that they're really doing much. The Lux is kind of walking around, not able to do really anything against the Syndra. I think the Syndra likes one thing. We do see Final Spark does come in. It's pretty solid chunk, but I don't think anything's coming out of that.
Oh, all right. Yeah, and looking at the items overall here, it's just like I think is that Syndra with an item lead over Lux? Yes, that is.
That is a full item, yes.
Yes. And I think the same could be said here for the jungle and and Caitlyn. So yeah, it seems like most lanes have an item advantage over one another, favoring UCSD esports. I wonder, yeah, are they gonna try to start the Baron here? They do have Weber's does have some wards, but those are quickly taken care of by Rakan. And
I do think that the 0-5 Lux is also helping the UCSD's case to try to start this Baron. Caitlyn does seem to be about maybe like slightly ahead of Yunar, but it should be a lot more. Renekton seems to be getting caught out here a bit, but the Shinja is just 2 levels up on the Volibear, so there's not really much happening. The stun buffer down from the stun is enough to make sure the Stormbringer doesn't bring nothing.
Mega Gnar
The Nara is trying to get in. He does have the Mega Gnar. He gets a massive 3-man flash ult into nothing. But the Renekton goes down. I do believe that this Rakan should be going down as well. Xin Zhao is walking away. There's nothing left for them. The Rakan managed to flash away. The Caitlyn is back though. It is looking like the police has showed up to take them down, but misses the crucial Piltover Peacemaker for the flash. This is a perfect fight for you if you're on the side of Weber Esports. You're already behind, jungler dies, but you're already ahead, Nar gets a kill. I do think that this is a good trade for them.
Yeah, especially right before the, or what looked like was going to be the Baron fight, they were able to take down Renekton, which is very strong frontliner for side of UCSD. And we could definitely tell that the UCSD frontline, although very strong, can be a little bit lacking if they do get CC down.
Right.
As we saw Renekton, and Xin Zhao did take a little bit of damage there. But it seems like we might have just teams gathering up here in the mid lane for any potential scuffles. But yeah, like I thought, they might just gravitate towards the Baron, put some wards down.
Right.
Seems like Nar is trying to flank up here with the Mega Gnar bar up, but he does transform, so nothing too crazy is going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do wonder what's the I do wonder what the Caitlyn's going to be building into, because they do have, obviously they're going to go for the LDR next, but I do think that they might want to go for the Hex Optics C44. It's one of the new ADC items that just does more damage as the longer range you go. I also do want to note that Rakan has been putting in a lot of work. They're 0-0-9 right now. They're looking to chase down this Gnar right now. That is a good clean combo onto them. And the Unleashed power should be coming in soon, unless they're trying to get the kill to Xin Zhao. And the Xin Zhao greedy jungler takes away the kill from the poor mid laner that needs all the gold. The 4-0, 204 CS mid laner. They are looking in perfect position to potentially set up for this dragon, but I think Weber has their eyes set on the Baron.
Yeah. Although they do, I don't know if they're going to be able to take it here as UCSD rotates.
especially since Nara is their strongest member. Oh, there's a Stormbringer coming in. The flash coming into the Renekton.
Oh, wow.
How can you play? It is a 4-man. There's 4 people top lane. Someone call for help. The Rakan and the Caitlyn going in, but I don't think that's enough.
Came in a little too late there, as 4 people were able to just dogpile on Renekton, and
yeah, it seems like the story of this entire series has just been top lane getting left out to dry. I feel really bad for Zhang Feng here. There's not really much they can do.
Yeah. And it seems like now the gold lane, or the gold gap, is slowly starting to close, and so UCSD Esports definitely have to close this game quite soon, as we can see they're slowly starting to slip here, as what was originally like a 7k gold lead is now down to 6.
Right. But also, you see that the Nara is just getting ganged off once again, but then the Syndra is super low and barely able to manage to live on. I would be very tilted if I was Eris right now. I do think that Syndra definitely should have died, but here we are with a 7-0 Syndra, 4-0 Syndra. There is only 7 deaths on the side of BCSC. I think that's, and all 5 of them are coming from the top lane, which means that your entire team is doing pretty damn well if 5 of your 7 deaths are from your top laner.
Yeah, but that also means the other lanes have a bunch of gold bounties, so if one team fight goes wrong, the gold gap between the 2 teams can be closed really quickly, and this game can easily be flipped towards Weber State's favor.
Especially towards Baron, because Baron reduces your resists, which means that you take a lot more damage. I do believe I've seen like match resist go to the negatives before against that. But I think what Weber needs to play for is actually the Elder fight, because I think they just need to give away the soul and then just look for the Elders so you can get that one massive team fight.
Yep.
Even potentially on the Baron as well. Maybe they want to go look for that 2-1 Baron, but I do think that this game is very much in the hands of UCSD.
Yeah, it's just a matter of hoping they keep it in their hands and they don't drop the ball here, as it seems like we are going to gravitate towards the Baron, and yep, blast packs away. And yeah,
the Weber's getting caught out here. This is not where you want to be when Baron's right there. Straight break comes in massive, and the wall tries to stop the solar Renekton at any chance to get. But the Rakan doesn't seem to be looking for anything. The Dominus was popped and does chunk out the Volibear, but you are getting a lot of gold onto your Nara with the tower. The Xin Zhao isn't even looking for the Baron anymore. He's looking for that ball laner, which, as an ADC main myself, I do personally understand that pain of having a jungler constantly in your lane. But I don't think I could ever possibly understand it truly as much as this Renekton right now.
Yeah. He's Renekton.
Ooh, Skylar goes wide, isn't able to hit that. The good flash coming in for the Flux, but doesn't even matter. XCY Steven is just way too strong right now. That looked like I just saw a that looked like a Vel'Koz ult in real life. I'm gonna be so for real. That was a very insane damage.
Yeah. Damage output on Syndra is just absolutely insane. We see like just how heavy her burst can be. As here we do see is Rakana gonna get caught out here as they are in a pinch between 4 people, but the dash out is gonna keep them safe. Here we might see a Baron fight as
Ooh, the
Rakan
quickest
starts.
coming in into the Rakan. Doesn't even get the W off and managed to get onto the Karma. Somehow managed to walk away alive. The Gnar couldn't hit the boulder here, but it's looking like a massive fight onto the side of the Kaylin. The Kaylin gets flashed on. This is a dead ADC right there, I believe. The Barry managed to keep him safe. And the headshot comes in massive. They're still alive. How are you living? The Volibear Storm. He manages to take them down in the end. But how did the Kaylin live for that long?
Wow, that was absolutely insane. Honestly, from both sides, or both teams there, the Gnar ult was just barely able to clip the Caitlyn into the wall, so they were stunned for a little bit, but the flash was really good on Caitlyn's side.
Shadow Luik is coming in. That is, oh my god, the damage from Syndra.
Wow, absolutely decimated the Karma. I don't think Lux is going to be able to do anything here, especially with no ult available, so it looks like Baron will go to UCSD quite comfortably. Excuse me.
Yeah, this is a very solid Baron. I do believe that the dragon should be spawning soon, I want to say. I've said this many times before, but I've been wrong many times before. We do see the dragons coming up in a minute. So they are going to try to posture for that. I think maybe they should send Renekton top lane because he does the TP, even though Syndra doesn't. Renekton's just going to travel with his team anyways. I think that Renekton's just going to try to maybe TP mid lane after the dragon goes away. I don't know how you play this game back from Weber's save. I think I did say that playing around the Elder or playing around the Baron would help her out. But I mean, dancing in the mid lane is definitely not going to do anything. I mean, if you want to, there's really nothing much that they can do though. I mean, there's a Raptors camp for them to take, but the Volibear really is like old for that. I mean, it's fair. Instead, they decided for a Spirit Visage, which I guess I can kind of see with the Syndra being the damage, but there's only one AP magic dealer on these UCSD. Volibear's getting caught up over the soul fight. This is rule number one of what you don't want to do as a jungler. And the Unstoppable is very much stopped. The movable force has been taken down by the Unstoppable, by the immovable objects. The Lux ult manages to go wide, doesn't really do too much in the return, and that is a free Mountain Soul. The Rakan is kind of just doing whatever he wants at this point. The lover's quarrel. His girlfriend is off away. He is doing fun. He's having fun. He's having way too much fun right now. He is kind of just scrambling around.
Yeah, as you said, the dragon should be quite free here as Shinjao does start it up. And I don't think Weber State is going to do anything here, especially without a jungler. Seems like
Oh my god!
Jesus! Wow, Syndra damage absolutely annihilated. Seems like the golden Syndra does go golden.
But
But...
Syndra is still gets a shield up. He's immortal. How is this? Okay, finally gets killed off by the Lux.
Wow.
I have no words for that damage. Syndra is 9, 1, and 4. If I could get a check on the Syndra AP there soon. I cannot believe it. That is 470 AP without a Rabadon, if I might add. As soon as that Rabadon comes in, they're gonna be absolutely destroying everything. They will become death sort of worlds.
Yeah. That will be Syndra's first death there. But honestly, not gonna matter. They still have an 800 gold bounty on them.
Especially when you have triple the kills of the enemy team.
Yeah.
When your Syndra has the same amount of kills as the entire enemy team, I think something's wrong here.
Yeah, it seems like Shinjao is going to go for a little bit of a fight there, but nothing is going to occur from it.
We're not gonna still push the top side. There's top side inhibitor still left available. Their Baron is still in Shinjao and Renekton, so I do think they still look for something. But Rakan's still alive, Shinjao's still alive, Renekton's still alive. There's really nothing much that they can like. There's kind of nothing much that Weber can even target.
Yeah.
We do see a Bloodthirster seeming to be coming in after the RSC for Kaylin. I do kind of wish that Kaylin went for the Hex Optics. I do think that the Hex Optics is a pretty good item. It does seem like a Kaylin specifically built item. But instead they're going for the RFC, which I can understand is very crucial against these, like, very crucial against the Lux and the Karn, which can just clip you out of nowhere. The Gnar's fallen off a lot in this game. The Kaylin's putting in a lot of work here. The small pause isn't really doing much. The Gnar gets a massive ultimate off, but isn't able to really finish it out. The Kaylin is just doing way too much damage at this point. That's a double kill coming in from the Kaylin. And that rifle does feel like it is a very strong rifle. When UCSD just trying to come in, but the Scatter Weak isn't able to do too much through the shield. The Volibear does get the Stormbringer onto the Syndra and is able to on the backline, but the Rakan's there to peel him out. The Renekton just spacing out the rest of the team. There's really no way the Spike can ever go anywhere. The Renekton managed to get the quote-unquote solo kill onto the Karma. There is a good done and well team fight coming in from UCSD. I do believe that is game.
Yeah. Definitely see there, like you said, the Volibear, like the void quick blades is helpful, but wasn't gonna be quite enough as he just doesn't do enough damage on anyone really.
Yeah.
And they were trying to focus down a few, but wasn't able to take them down as UCSD Esports does get the second game on their
Unless they're looking for the last kills, and they managed to get it.
All right, well played on the side of UCSD. They get the second game, and we are going to game 3, I believe.
We are going to game 3. We get to watch more League of Legends here on this wonderful September 14th. We are able to watch more UCSD domination, hopefully, coming from the side of UCSD as an unbiased commentator myself.
Yeah, and we see Eros on the Gnar actually did do the most damage the whole game, which is very
That's
surprising.
That's gotta suck as an Gnar.
Yeah, but very surprising, I gotta say. I mean, I guess that true damage does from the Gnar passive does do
Right.
quite a lot, but that syndra damage was just absolutely insane. We saw them getting decimated.
I do have to personally note out the 0-0-20 performance from their con. Oh my god.
20 assists is quite insane, I gotta say.
Not only 20 assists, but never taking a single kill from teammates, and also having 0 deaths on an engaged champion too, which is really funny when you consider the fact that Caitlyn has 3 deaths.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes you wonder, what was the Caitlyn doing that makes her die 3 times?
Yeah, they probably got caught out a few times, but a lot better performance from our UCSD team here.
Yeah.
Quite well played.
I do think that I do wonder what we're gonna look for in the next draft, but I do think that we can talk about that later. I do think that we are going off to head to another break. We will see you for game 3 of UCSD JV versus Weber State JV.
Thank you so
See you
much.
next time.
No matter how you treat me now,
Hello and welcome back to Game 3 of the CLL game versus UCSD Junior University and Weber State University. Are you ready for this final game, Joe?
I cannot wait. This final game is definitely going to be really interesting, especially with the Fearless format. We're going to see new champions.
Right. Hopefully we get to see our secret pocket picks we've never seen before. I really do hope that we are gonna get a close game this time because both games before have been stomps.
Mhm.
Obviously, I'm not complaining for UCSD stomp, but I would prefer a closer game because it's very fun to watch.
Yeah, 100%. I agree here. And honestly, I've been having a lot of fun watching each lane. I believe. Oh, sorry, my bad. I saw something off, but yeah. Uh, I hope the skirmishes between I just hope for a lot of fights. Honestly, they're very fun to watch. Um, in my opinion, like from last game, I had a lot of fun
Right.
watching Syndra just absolutely pop people.
I'm sorry, but am I seeing some role swaps coming in from the players?
That's what I saw too. But then maybe not.
I do see that the Arrows is going for the bot lane, and then Zill is going for the support, and Scott is going for the top lane. Is this allowed? I'm actually not sure if this is allowed.
Not too sure. Could just be switching between it, but yeah.
Maybe.
But yeah, I'm hoping to see some more fun bot laners. Honestly,
Right.
one of my favorite champs to see in the bot lane is like Aphelios.
Mhm.
I think him switching between all the forms.
Right. It is a first meta as well.
It is also Aphelios meta. Yes,
Right.
thank you for mentioning. So yeah, I honestly think he's really fun to watch. I hope he's picked. I also hope to see like Aatrox. I just like to see big damage numbers.
Yeah.
But obviously you can't really do that without your supports. So
Right.
I hope to see uh, some good compositions from
Right.
both teams.
Speaking of big damage, I do wonder if they're going to let the Lucian Nami through.
100%. Yes.
Because Lucian Nami is just a super high burst combo. It's just one of the best you can ever get.
Mhm.
But that also leaves room. I wonder if we're going to see like an Aphelios Lulu or even like a Zeri Lulu if possible.
Mhm.
Hopefully no Yumi's as well. But I do think that some Enchanter games should be pretty good. I do kind of hope that the mid lane is going to be continued to get their mages. Steven has just been absolutely insane on his picks with the Zir and Syndra. So I do wonder if like an Orion is next or if it's like a LeBlanc maybe.
Mhm.
I think a LeBlanc would be
A
great.
little boss will be really fun to
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about on the side of Weber State here? I wonder if we're gonna see anything from them.
I'm not sure honestly. I think I just want to see more top lane matchups. I really hope that Arrows isn't actually playing bot lane so we can see even more volatile carry top lane. We do see some fun chats coming in from both sides. We do see it's all good hearts all around. I'm still a bit confused about the whole roles that they've picked here. Um, I'm not even sure if it's allowed. I'm gonna be honest. But I I personally hope that we still get to see our good matchups. I do wonder what jungle Gloomgrove is gonna pick because Gloomgrove is a Xinjiao player when they play jungle. And they also not only don't have Xinjiao anymore, but they don't have Volibear, don't have Wukong. So it's not just like Pantheon, right? For your setup junglers. Maybe even Lee Sin if people are feeling like snazzy about it. But I think we could also maybe get a Silas on the side of Dorgan for outside of UCSD. He is a Silas main in the jungle or in the mid lane. So I think just giving him his main in the mid lane is a very good idea. But he's in the jungle. And I do kind of hope we maybe get to see some like you're seeing Aphelios. I do wonder if we're gonna see Varus. I'm personally Varus main myself, so I would like to see
Varus would be
him
interesting.
play at a higher level.
Yeah.
But I think that the bot lane matchup will be very. I think the bot lane matchup will be very weird. Will be very important here. I do wonder what like they do seem to actually be doing the role swaps here. I did not think that was allowed, but I guess if they're doing it, it must be allowed, right? I don't know what Arrows plays in the bot lane. I do wonder if we're gonna see some like I do wonder if we're gonna see maybe some Dravens from what I've seen of people of that archetype in top lane. Maybe we'll see even like something like Ziggs just to like let them just farm.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I do kind of want to see like a way from Itafushi because they are a control mage. We are going to draft right now. Let's see. Obviously, we're gonna see the Roman bat, right? Because why would we see the Roman bat actually? If Arrows isn't playing top lane, obviously Roman bat. I just thought of that.
Who knows?
We do see an Ash ban. Ash is just a very strong marksman all around. Swain is one of Hytale's strongest picks, so I do kind of see why they want to go away from that.
Lucian is banned.
We UCSD is first pick, so I do see that they're not going to be trying to go for Lucian Nami whatsoever. Which kind of takes Nami out of the equation as well, because you have like Corki Nami is gone, Draven
Yeah.
Nami. You're not playing Draven. Like, I do wonder what we'll see. Maybe we'll see like some Jinx Thresh or like Jinx TK. Mundo
is the
Swain
ban.
has just been permabanned all series. Same with the Ash,
Oh, there's
and
I
there's a
think
Riven ban,
There it is.
which, again, he's not playing top lane. I don't know why we're banning Riven. Riven is not playing top lane. But we are getting into this first pick. We do see
Oh, Nami's
No.
picked.
uh,
Okay. Nami goes.
what could they be playing Nami with is what I wonder. The Kiana jungle coming out? Why are we see okay? Kiana's not a pick I very trust very much. We do see the Silas as well. The Zeri, I do wonder that Silas in mid lane.
No.
Why are we seeing Mel? Mel just got gutted. Why are we playing her? But oh man,
I think Silas is a good pick against Male, no? Is it? Or actually, isn't it?
I think it's playable. We just see the Ori man coming in.
Wait, why though? Aren't both of our mids picked? Unless Silas jungle, maybe?
I did mention it's a Silas jungle, or UCSD's jungler is a Silas main.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just trying to ban that out as well.
But that is Steven that picked Silas, so
And there's a little block banners we're talking about, yeah.
yeah. I wonder, maybe
Maybe
they're
they
trying
should
to
just
swap
give
it.
Steven the Silas. You're right. I think you're right on that one.
Yeah. But then there's
Oh, there's a first ban.
There's the Varus ban.
With
And-
the Kaisa already locked in, I missed that. Interesting. What could they possibly go for top line here? I mean, Aatrox is up. I mean, Camille's up. Jax is up. Kaisa not. Okay, we got Kaisa not in the bot
Aatrox,
lane.
we'll have to see it.
See Aatrox.
I wonder who their top laner is gonna pick though. That's the question.
Right. I do kind of want to see like a Fiora maybe, because I do recall them playing
Rex.
Fiora, but I don't think this is the same top laner that I researched. Or into the
Darn.
Aatrox, if I remember correctly, is Aatrox favored.
Yeah.
I-
Remember.
Wow, I hate this draft. Sorry, I need a. So they pick
Interesting.
Kiana Kaisa for their AD, and they pick Mel Kaisa for their AP, right? Then they go Nautilus and Ornn for their engage. So they have a lot of engage along with the Kiana ults. But like, what are you bursting? I mean, I guess it's a Zeri, right? But Zeri can just dodge. Nami heals enough. Aatrox does a lot of damage. Rek'Sai and Aatrox can both tank it. Silas can heal out of it. What are we engaging on? And then if we look at UCSD's drafts, Zeri Nami's fine. I mean, it's a decent bot lane. They can scale really well.
Yeah.
Nami's analysis is a bit hard, but it should be fine. Why did we pick Rek'Sai?
Yeah, I think Rek'Sai was definitely out from left.
If you wanted an 80 bruiser setup jungle, why not pick Pantheon? Why not pick like come on. Oh, what is this draft? Okay.
Very unorthodox draft, I think.
Unorthodox is a good way to put it.
Yeah, Rek'Sai is very unorthodox. Definitely not one I expected.
I think right now they're going for comfort over they're
Probably.
definitely going comfort over viability, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess the Ornn's good because you have a tank to deal with like Aatrox and Zeri and Silas, and then Ornn can easily equalize the lane. In fact, I'm not even sure how the matchup goes. I'm sure Ornn can just outscale the Aatrox, but you know outscales the Ornn, the Zeri.
Yeah.
And sure, Rek'Sai's a good early ganger, right? But you know what outscales the Rek'Sai? Kaisa, Mel, Ornn, literally anybody on that team. I really hate this draft.
Yeah, honestly, like I'm looking at it and I can't really see like each team has their own like pros and cons, honestly.
Yeah.
I would like to say UCSD's comp is overall a little bit more reliant on like scaling.
Yeah.
Especially with Azeri, but I think that Aatrox will definitely do work. But Aatrox is gonna have to be a little bit careful.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kiana is quite mobile, so
Yeah.
might get ganked a few times as we saw from the last few games.
Yeah, poor top lane. I think that's the name of the game here. Just gank.
Yeah, but I think Rek'Sai is also very mobile, right? Because with her tunnels.
Right.
So honestly, I think Silas should be quite comfortable here against Mel. As we saw, like Steven's been doing a really good job in the mid lane. Honestly, quite dominant. I would say so far in this series has been quite a valuable player.
Right.
Um,
I think that Silas is also just a really good pick in general for the flex pick.
yeah, I
'Cause,
mean,
like-
those are good ults to steal.
Yeah, Mel, not Mel.
not
Kiana
Mel.
and Kai'Sa are pretty strong. Nautilus and Ornn are just for team fight.
Yeah.
Kiana's also from team fight. Kai'Sa's just really good for mobility.
Yeah.
And then like, I think that Python will have to play really well Zeri game. They need to be dodging like Nautilus hook. They need to be dodging. Okay, they need to dodge Kai'Sa W, Kiana R, Nautilus hook, and Ornn ulti.
Yeah.
So that's 4 crucial team fight things you got to dodge, and you only have 1 flash, you only have 1 E.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like HR could try to like flank,
Right.
potentially with like any TP plays, but
like if you flank the Kai'Sa just ults in.
yeah, exactly. So it's gonna be quite hard, and Kiana has the dashes, and Mel probably I don't know what's gonna be happening to the Mel, but yeah, it's not gonna be much to flank on.
I think a must play for Aatrox this game is Death Dance, especially with Kiana and the Kai'Sa burst.
Yeah.
Maybe Endless Hunger wouldn't be that bad as well for Aatrox, because it does give tenacity, which is pretty strong to Ornn, Nautilus, and Mel, and Kiana. But I don't know. I'm very curious to see how this game will go.
We'll see as we head into game 3 here.
Yeah. All right, we just see this interesting choice of skins. I will say I'm not the big fan of this Kai'Sa. I do think IG is better. I think IG and China Star are that feel the best. Shanghai Nautilus. That's how you know how long the series has gone. I'm just talking about the skins right now. I do see that Zeri opted for barrier instead of Ghost.
I think that's a fair play, especially with the Nautilus hook.
Yep. I do see that the Mel is having a bit more health than normal. You know.
Yeah.
I feel a bit more health, a bit more AP.
They learned a little bit from last game.
Yeah, a little more.
Yeah. Let's see.
You see that Kai'Sa is like they're going for the bush cheese here. Nami's looking for just invades.
I think
they're kind of just doing whatever. They just look for a small cheese on top now.
Ooh, does
a lot of damage. Does he have Electric Conquer instead? It manages to burn the flash and the E. This means that Mel doesn't have Q for a lane.
Yeah.
Good E though. Does he know? I don't think he does. That is a dead Nami on my screen. Unless they manage to land the flash, there's no hook there. I don't see any hook. There's the flash hook. There's a flash auto coming from the Kai'Sa. That is 2 flashes, double flashes burns, and the ignite. But the Nami managed to walk away somehow. This lane is kind of lost for both sides, but it seems like they're still missing the XP. The Aatrox is kind of just going off onto the Ornn, landing all 3 Qs. Nautilus and Kai'Sa are kind of just bullying the bot lane no matter what they do. Yeah, I don't. This early game looks about as nasty as that draft we were talking about.
Yeah. Honestly, very favorable for Steven here in the mid lane, but yeah, bot lane is gonna be a little bit iffy. Ooh, Size does miss the hook, but is able to dash in.
No way.
Gets rooted out of the tower.
One auto and he's dead with the execute. But it does seem like they'll be able to walk away. Ideally, they dodge the Q massive.
Are they gonna try to re-engage here?
Maybe. Is gonna get the W off? No, he does not. Mel managed to get the first blood into the mid lane. That is so unfortunate because the Mel root managed to go off in the last second.
That is not good.
As terrible as much as I was flaming the Mel pick, that execute came in so clutch there, especially with how bad that early game was for her. We do see the TP coming from the silos to try and hope this guy to salvage that wave. But wow, what a play from the Mel.
We see Zeri here still level 1 as the whole wave is pushed into them. Definitely gonna miss some CS here, I wonder. Looks like top lane is quite comfortable. As we said, the Aatrox is quite strong against that Ornn. And yeah, nothing else much happening here. I wonder if Aatrox is gonna go for a dive. Probably not. Actually, they do have quite a big wave crashing, so
yeah, but I think he might just try to push some plays.
But he does also have ignite.
There's a dive. There's an ignite coming in, and the Q3 managed to land and flashes away. But that is, while he goes down, that is, I believe, 6 casters going down to the tower. That is a full wave that the Ornn is missing. I'm sure Aatrox is feeling super happy with that clear.
Excuse me, but yeah. Yeah, that wave that Ornn missed is quite big, but they do have TP, so they're gonna try to grab some of the
flash coming from the Kiana. That looks like a dead Nami. Nami doesn't have any flash. Then the Kiana is just roaming around, doing their best to get as many as possible.
Hook does go and miss there from Nautilus, so they do not get an extra
Yeah.
Zeri on their plate. Rek'Sai, I really hope doesn't go for the cage here, as there is 2 right behind the Kiana.
There's also no Nautilus in sight, or there's no Nami in sight.
Yeah. You have Zeri on the flank though. Ooh, no,
Ooh,
okay. Hook
wow!
does
Managed to dodge all three. There's a flash coming in from the
Great
Rek'Sai. There's a dead Nautilus on my screen. That is, they went fishing and they caught trash.
Honestly, good good clapback from UCSD as able to close the lead there a little bit. Aatrox is going to get hit a little bit by the Ornn, but we'll be walking out just fine. And there's a big nerf for Aatrox to claim.
Man. We aren't seeing any like massive CS leads as from game 1, but what we are seeing is that these junglers are very proactive on the map. Kim does have a pickaxe over the Rek'Sai, but Rek'Sai does have a second scuttle on her. So I wonder if the Kim is going to try to gank the top lane, because as much as I'm pretty sure they swapped, they saw Skywalker to the top lane just to let them like try and scale, right? Just to get Arrows more of a comfortable carry role. The Bell does burn W for nothing there, but I think it's like, I don't know. I just I still don't like this Kiana pick.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kiana's a very strong unit. Oh, actually, I wonder if we're gonna see Kiana try to flank here, but they were onward, so yeah, Silas does back up.
Can also no flash, so they can just try to land on Q when misses it.
Yeah. Drag is coming up in 10 seconds though. Seems like both junglers are ready, but where's Rek'Sai? Oh, Rek'Sai's all the way on blue side, so
Yeah.
don't think anything's gonna happen here.
Kiana doesn't have the best dragon take though, so maybe they might try to like, maybe they try to stall a bit for 30 seconds. Maybe like try and crash a bot wave in, which they'll probably be able to get to with that bot wave right there. Considering Nami missing.
Yeah.
Nami is really good.
Nami is mid, but Mel is on the other side there.
Oh, they're coming in for the fight right there. Gets one auto. Well, gets the Q, but it bounces back. This is very solid play for Mel. Rek'Sai's coming in, but there's no flash to get the knocked up on them. I mean, Nami can try to slow them, but I think the Mel should be able to rid them away. Mel does have ults and does get hit by the bubble. That is a solid kill onto the Rek'Sai. And I do believe that is no dragons for Weber safe. But Mel does manage to land the hook onto the Zeri, but it dashes away, and they are safe.
Nice. Yeah, it's really crucial that Zeri stays alive there as excuse me. Oh my.
Kiana is starting up the dragon here. They are managing to get that. It does seem that they're going to be just focusing on stacking up the dragons. Such as Hexx, great being good with your Mal, your Nautilus, your Kiana. Ability is always appreciated, especially the attack speed as well. But it does seem that Nautilus is kind of just chilling there. Zeri is back to full health, but Kai'Sa is 2 levels up onto the Zeri. I must note that. This is not looking like a good steal angle, but I think that Rex is going to try to go in for it anyway. I don't know if the division on it, they do, but no, the tone just goes away, and that is a solid dragon for the side of Focus University.
Yeah, quite a solid dragon take there. Ooh, I wonder Silas does steal the Kiana. Miss.
I don't know what that was.
What just happened?
I mean, Silas had flash. They easily could have just walked away.
Yeah.
I think that Steven's just getting a bit too greedy here. Maybe they're not even comfortable on the Silas pick and they just kind of force onto it. A very good interrupt onto the Ornn there. I cannot believe that W landed. I do believe that this could be a solid kill into the side of Aatrox. The World Ender is coming out. The Ornn Horn is coming in to try and potentially stop him. The knockup is massive, and he does have flash. Gets the flash off and doesn't get the final auto.
Unfortunate.
Wonderful dodge attempt from the Ornn. Skywalker walks away, and he is safe.
Yeah, we see Arrow stopping into the bot lane here. Isn't doing too bad. And Skywalker is doing a great job fulfilling his role here as he was able to survive the skirmish. With that Aatrox. Kiana there just took a red buff. Is hoping to gank Aatrox here, but
Ornn doesn't have ult or flash though.
Yeah,
but neither does Aatrox. I do think that
might be a dead Aatrox here.
Kiana does have flash and ult. I do think that if there's a flash, there's the ult, and that is a potentially dead Aatrox unless they manage to get some crazy Qs off. There's Q1, gets this sweet spot up there, gets some knockup. They're just trying to stall for the Rek'Sai here. Manages to get a passive off, but isn't able to get that heal enough.
I wonder if they know Rek'Sai is coming. I don't think they do, so I don't
think they do either.
Yeah,
there's the Q coming in, and that is the ult. The Void Rush does take out the Kiana.
Well played from Rek'Sai there.
I do think that the Ornn could get something back here potentially if he manages to land all of his abilities, but I do think Rek'Sai just has to tunnel away, and they're completely fine. Mel is technically losing all of his trades, but I don't think that Silas is winning the extended fight. But there's a flash coming in. I don't know what is happening. There's the E flash coming in. Duck does not manage to get it in. Oh, that was so close, and Mel doesn't have the golden eclipse to close it out either. But Silas, you misses the E2, and there's the golden eclipse, and that's a solo kill in the mid lane. Are you kidding me?
That is rough for the mid lane. Oh,
They
man.
overestimated their damage from the Mel ult there. You see Kiana coming into the bot lane here. Nami misses the bubble. There's an ignite coming in. What the?
Ooh.
What? Aggressive dash coming in there. There's the Q's coming in. Managed to get the kill onto Nala's. That is a flash forward to the Zeri. Gets a double kill from the Kaisa. What was that? Oh my God! Piebald just got a fistful of kills right there. That has to feel so good, feeling just that much better. Oh my God! What kind of psycho play was that? You could give Jackie Love cocaine and he wouldn't make a play like that. What was that?
Excuse me.
This guy is dying, but you know who else is dying? That bot lane right there.
Yeah, it's a great play from.
You see
Isaiah
the 2 level Depth Charge engaging onto the mid lane. But the Depth Charge is coming out, is able to get that Mel away. That is another Mel ult away from death, but the Silence ult is able to take care of the Mel before they're able to get their golden plus back up. And that does look to be a good solo double kill into the mid lane, and that Silence has to be feeling so much better now that they have some movement from it.
Yeah, and it seems like Aatrox is slowly picking away at this point too. So, honestly, oh wow, yeah, Aatrox has a 35 CS lead, so honestly pretty big. Has 1k gold lead. Honestly, despite the early game, UCSD has called their way back into this game here, with a big part playing on that Zeri double kill, like that we were just mentioning. It was insanely big. Able to get Zeri back into the game here.
Well, there's a tidal wave coming in, but the Lightning Crash isn't able to hit. But it does seem like the Silence is already here. The killer instinct does come in. And Kiana is looking to get this kill onto the Zeri, but is unfortunately missing that Q. The Silas does seem like it could suck between a Nautilus and a hard place, but the knockout comes into Kiana. There is a little bit of damage, but there's just the Void Rush comes in, and it is a clean kill onto the Kiana. The Rek'Sai is still alive. He is walking around with this Mel Golden Eclipse, just manages to take out the entire team. This is looking like some Canon Arcane things. This Mel is popping off.
Yeah, that Mel was massive there. I was able to finish up a lot of the fight as 3 members of UCSD does go down. I am very surprised that Zero was able to survive there. Very critical. Looks like Aatrox is still fighting here in the top lane.
That's nice to eat away instead of going in. I do respect that. It's just cut out the trade early.
Yeah, it seems like looks like a lane swap is happening here from mid to bot.
But bot lane doesn't have. Zeri doesn't have his bot lane focus. So they're gonna stay in bot lane.
Yeah, there, man. Looks like they're swapping back here.
Yeah.
Dragon is up.
Again, Silas is going in with no information on where anyone is on the map. But the Rek'Sai is here to potentially get that gank back onto the Kaisa. Gets a knockup onto the Nautilus, but isn't able to hit it back, unfortunately. They are getting rooted up by the Kiana, and that is a dead jungler I am seeing on my screen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this Rek'Sai dies for Silas is suffering. But that is just how the game goes, and they are now back to even, but the Dragon is up, and there is no smite on the side of UCSD. The Mel managed to chunk out the Nami by quite a bit. I just think that the Ludens is coming from the Mel instead of the Blackfire Torch. So they're going to be a bit more bursty, which kind of matches the Kiana and Nautilus playstyle. But, like, I feel like a Blackfire would be better here. Just you're against 3 melees, and you get more AP. And we do see a solo kill on top lane somehow. But this Dragon is taken away. Misses the smite, but it doesn't matter. And this is looking like another top die situation.
Yeah, I mean, with arrows going into the bot lane, looks like Aatrox is able to perform a lot more comfortably here in the top. And
man, it feels like the gambit of like moving your top lane and bot laner didn't exactly work out. But what did work out is the mid jungle, the parts that stayed intact, right?
yeah,
Because now we have the Mel going 5-2 now, finally being able to get back into the form after a disappointing game 1-2. But yeah, it's still looking like a mid gap. 5 of the kills 5 of the 11 kills are on Mel. They do look for another gank onto the mid lane here. Gets the abduct onto the Mel. And that is a kill onto Steven. Steven is very happy. He's getting his gold back. The Kaisa burns the barrier to try and get away. The flash from the Kiana gets again, but misses the second Q. That's the barrier, but it's not enough. Kaisa is able to finish out that kill with the lethal tempo. The Aatrox is looking to finish out the trade, but nothing else is happening.
Yeah, Zeri getting picked off there, quite important. But wow, we really saw that Kiana damage, just that burst. Like we just saw Zeri's HP just absolutely disappear there.
Yep.
With a big part playing to the items that Kiana's building. It seems like the gank is happening here at top lane.
Does this Ornn die? Let's find out. That is 2 armor components onto the Aatrox, but that Ornn is completely gone. The demolish goes off, and that turret is gone. That is a bunch more gold. That is double CS into the pockets of Aatrox. This is some revenge for game 1 for the side of UCSD.
Yeah. See Mel here pushing up, but Silas is quickly rotating over to cover his tower. Kiana did invade the Raptors, so that is a little bit gone. Hopefully Nami does not get caught out here.
I think absolutely could, but the blast comes right there and managed to get away from the ICQ. Meanwhile, Zeri is still a level down onto the Kaisa. They did go for the Merc Treads, which I find a bit interesting, especially considering a lot of damage is from the Kiana. The Kiana just barely managed to put the supreme display of supreme hitboxes. Managed to go in, but the Aatrox is TP'd in. That is a 2-man knockup onto the Gloom group. That is death. That is death in eyes for both of the mid and jungle of Weber State University. Rek'Sai is on the hunt for that last bit of Kaisa. It's looking like the call cinematic, and this Kaisa might be able to get away, maybe get that execute off. Salas is looking for the execute and root, and Kaisa will go down. A turret has been slain, and Kaisa is walking away scot-free.
Yeah, honestly, good call on Kaisa there to just run away, die to the execute. But yeah, Zeri did just happen to get clipped by that Kiana wall. It was very close. But wow, I was not expecting that Aatrox damage.
Right.
It was really insane, honestly. Yeah, almost.
Especially considering the Aatrox is Black Cleaver and not something like a Shojin or like or even Eclipse. Yeah. All that damage is just from Aatrox.
Yeah, it's just pure Aatrox stats.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he is up a few levels.
You see 3,000 gold lead from the side of the top from Aatrox. Meanwhile, bot lane is still decently in the favor of Zeri, but I do think Kai'Sa's a bit stronger right now, at least in the 1v1. But that's not what you're looking for the 1v1. The Mel is still 1,500 gold up on Silas. Silas is still going in like he's 2 gold up. But the Nami bubble misses, the Nautilus hook goes out and manages to snipe him in between the 2 minions. And somehow the Silas is still alive. The flash coming in from the stolen death chart doesn't manage to get it back. The Kiana's damage pushes them back, but the Void Rush comes in and is able to get that smite and the Strikebreaker onto the Mel, and the Mel is taken down. Zeri is going crazy and is able to get that flash out to the Kaisa. That is a great team fight coming in from side UCSD.
Wow, yeah, that was amazing there. I think Rek'Sai played it amazing. Able to pick out the 2 people that were very low HP.
We do see the Rift Herald coming in as well, and obviously the Aatrox is just destroying Ornn instead. The Demolish proc should come in to maybe take out at least maybe a solid portion of the health bar. Yeah, they should be alive. We do see that the mid tier 2 is pushed open as well because of that Rift Herald. And the Rek'Sai is kind of just taking all the bots I can. So there's kind of just not really much you can do as a Kiana here. The whole point of Kiana jungle is that you're getting super ahead so you can like one-shot everybody. But the Rek'Sai is taking all of your cans. A Rek'Sai, another champion who is notoriously known for falling off horribly.
All right.
727 on the Rek'Sai. We do see that I do see the battle pipes coming from the Nautilus and the play still counts. I do agree with that buy, but I mean, there's kind of not much that they can do in this scenario. I mean, all they can... what's coming up? We have Dragon in 20 seconds, so Nautilus is trying to set that up, but he's kind of alone, so there's not really much he can do. Zeri does have a second item by now, and Kai'Sa's still stuck on that Kraken Slayer. And while that is a really high spike for the Kaisa, it's not 2 items. I see Shojin picked up for Aatrox. I don't think he knows about the Kiana.
Yeah, Kiana's just sitting here, waiting for Dragon to spawn.
Yeah, they're walking around. There's not a vision just yet. There he goes into the pit and managed to get the Supreme Display Talent onto the Rek'Sai, bursts them down, and the Void Rush is not there. The Kaisa comes right in. The Killer Instinct is coming massive. It's coming fishing season for the Kaisa, but the Aatrox is doing way too much damage to their backline. The Kaisa has got no help left. That is a full team fight win. That is almost an ace for UCSD. That while they managed to take out the Rek'Sai, while they managed to take out the Nami, unfortunately the carries of UCSD just proved way too strong.
Yeah, honestly, it was a great play from Weber there as the Kiona did blast code over, hit them with the ult. But I think one thing that some people might not have noticed is actually the Nami ult. The tidal wave was actually really good in stopping them for just a moment. It will letting the Aatrox just slowly climb up. Well, not slowly, but actually quickly climb up with that ult, and was able to dish out all that damage.
Right. But yeah, what an insane team fight, honestly. I don't know if Aatrox TP. He did not TP, but Aatrox did have that good flank onto the backside. They kind of just ignored the Kai'Sa. Let the Zeri take care of it, and just walk right past the Nami dying. Which, as he does the top laner, he supports dying, just leaving the die.
Yeah.
Because all of the gold is onto this Aatrox. I mean, that's a Black Cleaver and a Spirit Children. I'm sure Asteris is next based on the items. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Silas is still catching up. He still does a lot of damage. He's going for a Riftmaker, which I find a bit interesting. I personally would have gone for something like a Shadow Flame or like just to get even more burst damage off. The Hex Flash coming in for the hook. The Dredge managed to line onto the Silas. Silas has the Killer Instinct to shield away if he needs to. He just walks away.
Yeah.
Oh, goes for a Killer Instinct, but Mass misses the abduct. That's very close.
I mean, Silas are really able to see how much he can heal there as he got hooked, got engaged on both, still able to walk out. Not completely unscathed as he is quite low HP. We see Mel here is trying to claim the bot tower. It seems like they will be able to get it just fine, as most of UCSD is towards the mid and top, as Baron is going to spawn in 30 seconds.
Right. The Kai'Sa W is still not unevolved. So while the Zeri is Zeri, let's see, I use about 725 gold left from Zeri now. I don't know how much gold she's sitting on. But that IE spike is very close for the Zeri. I would have preferred something like the LDR, especially against like the Horn and Nautilus. Thank you, Observers. The Zeri is about 450 off, so maybe a couple more waves, a couple camps, maybe a kill, and then that Zeri should get their Infinity Edge. I still really would have liked the LDR though for some Nautilus and Ornn, especially because Ornn's going full armor.
Yeah, that's fair, but I also would say that the Nautilus is playing quite well, but the Ornn is honestly a little bit out of this game. I really haven't seen him hit any big ults yet, as he has just been getting singled out or like just too late to team fights.
Right. But I think that's where the gambit of swapping your top and support kind of was.
Exactly.
Because if you look at arrows, obviously they know how top lane works. They know how to work around it. But if you look at your like your support that you set top lane, they're not gonna have the same macro as the top laner. They're not gonna have like that same team fight rotation. So I think that's just more of a comms thing that they need to get rid of, or not get rid of. They need to deal with. And the gold diff is still at about 4.5k. I want to say 4.3k, 4.2k. Which kind of just means that there's looking for a big team fight into the top lane. They're looking to pick off this Aatrox, hopefully. He does have Flash and ult, but managed to get hit by the Dredge line. Gets the Ornn misses the pillar with his Flash E, but it's fine because the Kiana managed to take the kill. Instead of giving it to her Kai'Sa, that definitely needed it.
Yeah. Nothing much Aatrox could do there as he was just getting hit by a full 5-man. The Avengers just popped up there.
Yeah. I think that could potentially be Baron for Weber as well, because I mean Aatrox is one of the main carries, right?
Yeah.
So I mean Aatrox was one of the big reasons that they won that last team fight. But instead they're just gonna try to push up mid here, let them push up. Exactly top floor. We do see Styles coming in. Oh my god, that's a knockup coming in from the backside, and that is a dead Mel screen. Doug somehow managed to land onto the Kai'Sa. It is an impossible team fight, yet the impossible is nothing but nothing.
Honestly, really well played there from Silas, just jumping in out of nowhere. That's able to just deny Weber from taking that Baron, like you just said. So now, honestly, UCSD has flipped it on their heads, and now UCSD is trying to take Baron.
Now, this Kiana is walking in, does see the control ward, so he is on vision. Sal's looking for this onto the Kiana, but isn't able to get much. The Abduct does manage to hit, and they're just trying to kill this Kiana as quick as possible. Salas just dashes away and is able to stay away from that on the auto slope. I do wonder what ults the Salas has available to steal. I do think Kiana ult still open. And in fact, they did just take it right now. So the Rex is coming for a fight right now. Zero dashes over into 2 melees and still managed to live because of that Supreme Display talent. Flashes towards the assassin. Again, this Zeri is absolutely psychotic, but the Mel should be able to clean up here, I think. And as long as the Aatrox isn't able to get something big, the Zeri is very low in health, and is very easy to execute. And there's that Q right there. And then the Golden Eclipse isn't able to come out, but still managed to execute the Zeri. But that is a free Baron for the side of UC San Diego. Kai'Sa is doing his best absolute to try and save this game, but it is too little and too late. Baron Nashor has been claimed for UC San Diego. Mountain Dragon is up, and it is looking like a good win.
Yeah, that was honestly a great team fight there. We saw the Mel try to run up behind UCSD, but just got absolutely destroyed by the Aatrox. And honestly, great cleanup. We do see the dragon is up. Seems like UCSD is gonna try to deny soul point here, or not soul.
This will
Yeah,
point,
soul point. Yes, my fault. But yeah,
Nautilus doesn't have all the vision yet. They are using the Phalanx to try and get as much as they can, but I do think that's just a free dragon. Kiana is bot side, but you can see the wall working top side right now in midway. So it is a free dragon for UCSD. The Tritons are eating good tonight, and it is looking very dire for for Weber State.
yeah. Uh, yeah. Weber State backs against the wall here. As
Oh, we see Kiana coming in for potential mid flank. Doesn't really manage to get up. Does that Lightning Crash just eliminate the Kaisa? Wow. How is that? Zeri looks
Oh,
right in the eyes
Spells
and says,
into
"Oh, gets knocked up into the transport into the play down, but manages to get saved by the tidal wave anyways." The Nautilus goes down, the Kiana goes down, the Zeri is popping off. Oh my god, this is looking like on release. This is looking like on release Pikmin Zeri with a Yumi on the side. I have never seen an ADC so durable. The Aatrox is coming in to try and finish it off that Mel. The Mel is not from Arcane. She has never seen a strength like this. The World Ender is coming here to end this game.
wow, that was just extremely well played. But also wow, just the damage from Zeri and Aatrox. They're just clearly too fed here.
Orange,
Yeah.
trying to clear away, but there's nothing left.
Yeah, there's just nothing. And looks like the game is going to come to a close here as Kaisa and Kiana are back, but I don't know if they're gonna be able to do much here.
Kiana doesn't have her ult up. She's never flashed up. Can't really do anything. Edge Knight already goes down.
Yeah, that was quick.
I mean, the Baron's kind of pushing out. They're gonna try to take this inhibitor. I think they could possibly go for an end here. If Aatrox just TP's in. There is the lockout coming into the Kiana. Doesn't able to get much. But the Zeri doesn't have Lightning Crash available just yet. But they are still able to take that inhibitor. I do think that they should try and get that top inhibitor as well. Look for the triple hit, but it does seem like they're just trying to back off.
Yeah, maybe not too much of a push in just yet. As the majority of the team did come back in time, and yeah, like we could see Aatrox is recalling there. Yeah, I think UC is just gonna gather around, try to.
Oh my god.
Wow.
That is a 6,000 gold lead from the Aatrox and a 5,000 gold lead on the Zeri. Holy! What? 2 levels up on the direct side as well, even though even in gold. Kiana is just not able to win this fight. Because with that Edge of Night as well, there's not much that they can do. This Zeri pickup is just doing so much damage. 11, 4, and 2. We're looking for another team fight here. The Supreme Display Talent managed to pick out the Nami. That is a lot of healing going down. But the Kiana is way too low already. The Killer Stick comes into the backline. The Kai'Sa's gone down. That is a troll zombies I've ever seen one, but it doesn't matter. The Void Rush comes down. The Kai'Sa comes down. It is coming to the last fight, and the Zeri is absolutely popping off. That's a triple kill into the Aatrox. Can we potentially see a pentakill angle? They're going for it. That is 1 kill. That is Q2. That is a quadra kill. That is not. Is it looking to be a pentakill? It is not. Zeri stole the pentakill. She steals the pentakill. She steals the game, and UCSD are taking the best of 3. They are taking the game back, and it is over.
Wow, what a way to end the game, what a way to end the series. Almost a pentakill for Aatrox there, but UCSD claimed the win today after an initial game 1 lose.
What a game from Pyfel that game. Oh my god.
That was insane.
It all came in from that flash. It all came in from that flash, just flash ult into 2 people.
Yeah.
And it's just getting. I cannot believe that they were able to play that game.
Yeah, what a great play. Just the turn back and able to get 2.
Right. I do think that player of the series would have to go to Steven, though. I mean, Steven was actually carrying the first 2 games.
Yeah.
And I mean, they fell behind a lot in this game too, but they still were able to pull back and will be an instrumental part of the team fights.
Yeah.
I do have to give a massive shout out to Pyfel and to Aatrox. That top lane bounce back is probably one of the biggest bounce backs I've ever seen. The slingshot just going from Flame Horizon at 17 minutes to almost getting a pentakill at the last game.
Yeah,
right.
what an insane comeback as a player.
Right.
But I think he could also contribute to that to Arrows switching roles.
Right.
Arrows didn't perform too bad, but Pyfel is just absolutely killing out in this area there.
Yeah.
And like you said, I do agree. I think Silas definitely gets the most valuable player of this series for UCSD.
Yep.
What a great way to just end the series. Although he didn't perform like the most damage at the end of the game, I think he still performed incredibly well for what he was given.
Yep. And I do think that I think that this is a very good display of how strong a mental game can be and how it can play into your fight. I'm sure after game 1, everyone should have to be like completely demoralized, right?
Yeah.
But they still managed to pull it back. That Jack team was something else.
That Jackson was something else.
Yeah. but they managed to pull it back, and UCSD takes this game. JV has taken revenge for varsity team's failure today,
Yeah.
but it is a fun game, and I think that we are very happy with the result.
Yeah.
And I think that we are looking to end the game now. I do think this is a very wonderful game coming from UCSD, and well, again, I want to say a massive thank you to Turtle Beach for providing massive amounts of gear and just a lot of support to our UCSD esports. And we will see you in the next match.
Thank you so much.